Chapter 726. Ancestral Magi Palace Suppression. He was even stronger than Tao Ancestor Hongjun and Great God Pangu. This made Yang Hongwu suck in a deep breath. There was someone who looked exactly like him, but he was actually so strong. This shocked Yang Hongwu. Was he really the reincarnation of such a terrifying expert? Even sure Bauer knew some secrets, and there was also God refining Great Emperor, whom he had never met. However, no matter what, he was himself, not someone else. Primordial revered dragon or a super expert. He was nothing. Even if he recovered in the future, it would just be some memories. He was Yang Hongwu. After figuring this out, Yang Hongwu's state of mind was greatly improved, and his aura was constantly changing. 7th level of the God Realm. Seeing Yang Hongwu improve so quickly, Xing Tian was also surprised. He thought to himself, as expected of that person, he improved so quickly. Cultivation is as simple as eating and drinking for him. He could improve with just a few words. Xing Tian, how much do you know about the Ancestral Magi Palace? Yang Hongwu looked at Xing Tian and asked. The Ancestral Magi Palace is the place of inheritance of the Magi clan. It's the most important place of the Magi clan, and it's formed by Panga's heart. Xing Tian said, when the Fiend clan attacked the Magi world, they relied on the Ancestral Magi Palace to suppress the Blood Dragon Great Demon. Although the Blood Dragon Great Demon has fallen, his evil spirit hasn't dissipated. Therefore, entering the Ancestral Magi Palace is very dangerous. If you're not careful, you may be attacked by the evil spirit of the Blood Dragon Great Demon. Panga's heart? Yang Hongwu's eyes flickered. If he could get Panga's heart, his strength might improve greatly. It was possible for him to break through the God Realm and enter the Venerable Realm. As for the evil spirit of the Blood Dragon Great Demon, Yang Hongwu wasn't worried. He had cultivated the mind-refining sutra, so he should be able to resist it. In addition, he had the Haotian Pagoda and the Demon Hand. You want to get Panga's heart? Seeing Yang Hongwu's reaction, Xing Tian said, I advise you not to do so. Why? The great god Pangu did not perish. The great god Pangu's heart still contains his consciousness. Once you try to refine the heart of Pangu, the consciousness of the great god Pangu will awaken. Xing Tian said, to me, the awakening of Pangu is beneficial, but I don't know what will happen to you after he awakens. Yang Hongwu was stunned. Indeed, once the great god Pangu awakened, it was unknown whether it was good or bad for Yang Hongwu. Let's take it one step at a time. Pangu should have already left this plane. Even if I refine Pangu's heart, Pangu will only awaken a sliver of consciousness. I don't believe that I can't deal with a sliver of consciousness, Yang Hongwu said coldly. At this moment, many terrifying experts came from all directions. The Sorcerer Tribe, the Fiend Tribe, and many other ferocious beasts had come. The weakest member of the Sorcerer Tribe was a Heaven Sorcerer, while the Evil Demon Tribe had sent experts above the Venerable Realm. The ferocious beasts and savage beasts had terrifying strength as well. None of them were weak. Yang Hongwu took a deep breath. It was getting lively. With the opening of the Ancestral Sorcerer Palace, the entire sorcerer world would be bustling with excitement. The moment the Ancestral Sorcerer Palace opened, a surge of blood chi appeared and pierced the sky. Go, all of you go. Yang Hongwu sneered. It would be lively if these guys went in. Although the Blood Dragon Great Demon God had fallen, he was still not easy to deal with. Moreover, this was the Ancestral Sorcerer Palace, which was full of murderous intent. Even the Sorcerer Tribe would die if they entered the Ancestral Sorcerer Palace without any means. Who is that? Yang Hongwu saw a woman. This woman gave Yang Hongwu a familiar feeling, but he couldn't remember who she was. However, her aura was really familiar. She was definitely someone he knew, but he wasn't sure who she was. Princess Guyu. This woman is Princess Guyu. Suddenly, a thought flashed through Yang Hongwu's mind. He remembered that this woman was the daughter of ancient Yu Divine King, Princess Guyu. Although he hadn't seen her in person, he had seen her in the illusion that ancient Yu Divine King used to deal with him. This woman was very powerful. He didn't expect this woman to really appear here. In order to lure him to the Ancient Yu clan, Ancient Yu Divine King had even used his own daughter as bait. If Princess Guyu knew that her father had sold her out like this, how would she feel? In just a few breaths, many people had entered the ancestral sorcerer palace. Many of them were experts. Yang Hongwu reckoned that Ancient Yu Divine King would arrive at this time. Among those who had just entered, none of them were as strong as Ancient Yu Divine King. Sure enough, after a few breaths, Ancient Yu Divine King appeared. Ancestral Sorcerer Palace? I didn't expect it to open. I'm a little surprised. I wonder where that little bastard Yang Hongwu went. I can sense that little bastard's aura here. Did he go in too? Ancient Yu Divine King paused at the entrance and muttered, "That's good too. If he went in, I wouldn't have to waste my time. Let's see how that little bastard can escape this time." To Ancient Yu Divine King, Yang Hongwu was just a little guy who wasn't very powerful. However, he had managed to escape from him time and time again. It was really too depressing. If word got out, it would be too embarrassing. Go in. The Ancestral Sorcerer Palace is closing. At this moment, Xing Tian suddenly said. Yang Hongwu didn't hesitate. With a thought, he activated the Yin-Yang 5 transformations and used the Yin-Yang Void Shuttle to enter the Ancestral Sorcerer Palace. As soon as he stepped into the Ancestral Sorcerer Palace, he felt a huge pressure. What shocked Yang Hongwu was that he couldn't use his magic power in the Ancestral Sorcerer Palace. I can't use my magic power? Yang Hongwu took a deep breath and said to Xing Tian, "There's a restriction on magic power in the Ancestral Sorcerer Palace." Yes, the Ancestral Sorcerer Palace is a supreme treasure. It's the most powerful treasure of the Sorcerer tribe. It also has Panga's heart. In here, no one can use magic power, including sorcerer power. Xing Tian said. Yang Hongwu was overjoyed. Not being able to use magic power was a huge advantage for Yang Hongwu. He couldn't use his magic power, but he could use his spiritual power and physical strength. He had cultivated the Spirit Refining Heart Sutra, so his spiritual power was incomparably strong. On top of that, his physical strength was strong. He had the 9 Dragon Saint body, and he had integrated the dragon bones of the primordial Dragon Lord. This made Yang Hongwu's physical body extremely strong. Even a Supreme Saint couldn't compare to him. He might even surpass a Supreme Saint. Chapter 7:27. Statues of the 12 Ancestral Magi. The Ancestral Magi Palace was naturally the most beneficial place for the Magi tribe. The Magi tribe's body was very strong. They didn't cultivate their primordial spirit, but relied on their physical strength. The great god Pangu attained his Tao through physical strength. Later, he created Panga Continent. The Magi tribe on Panga Continent didn't cultivate their primordial spirit, but only their physical strength. Therefore, in terms of physical strength, no other tribe could compare with the Magi tribe. Of course, the Magi tribe was the strongest after the Dragon, Phoenix, and Kirin tribe. As for some other ancient fierce beasts, many of them were comparable to the Magi tribe. However, the physical strength of ordinary cultivators was much weaker than that of the Magi tribe. What was Yang Hongwu's physical strength? It was the 9 Dragon Saint body, which was extremely powerful. With his current God Realm cultivation, his physical strength was comparable to that of a great saint, even surpassing that of an ordinary great saint. That showed how strong Yang Hongwu's physical strength was. Not only that, in the Ancestral Magi Palace, only magic power was suppressed, but not spiritual power. However, Yang Hongwu not only had a strong physical body, but also spiritual power. Yang Hongwu had a great advantage in both aspects. Therefore, in the Ancestral Magi Palace, Yang Hongwu was not afraid of anyone. Therefore, Yang Hongwu sped up. This time, he came to the Magi world to find the Ancestral Magi Palace, hoping to find something that could make him stronger. Now he knew that there was a Pangu's heart in the Ancestral Magi Palace. If he got it, his strength would certainly improve by leaps and bounds. This was a great temptation for Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu guessed that Panga's heart was the core of the entire witch world. If he could obtain Panga's heart, then it would be equivalent to obtaining the entire witch world. At that time, If he could integrate the witch world into the little devil world, then he would be able to form a bigger world. This world would belong to young Hongwu's inner world. The stronger one's inner world was, the stronger one's cultivation would be. Of course, this was for the warriors who had broken through to the Great Emperor realm. Before the Great Emperor realm, even if one had his own world, there was no way to mobilize the power of his world. After all, he didn't have enough spiritual power to support it, and he didn't have enough magic power to cast it. After walking for a while, young Hongwu realized that they did not encounter any obstacles along the way. There were not even any small savage beasts. It's too quiet. Young Hongwu squinted his eyes. Was young Hongwu's great peace. Moreover, along the way, he did not see anyone else's mark or aura, which made young Hongwu even more suspicious. Did he enter the illusionary realm? Thought Wang. Young Hongwu could not help but become vigilant. He summoned the heaven-devouring rat, Little White. White's god, mastered in art, was running on Magic Island. Was White, Magic Magi, and Rune's Magi Temple and Magi? One of them had a deep understanding of illusions, while the other was completely immune to illusions. Magi, White, Magi, have White Magic Magi, and Magi. Pangs. Magic? On art? Magi shook her head. I don't see anything wrong. Yang Hongwu's brows furrowed even tighter. That's strange. It's too quiet here. Xing Tian said, if I'm not wrong, we've entered the Hall of Silence. Hall of Silence? Yang Hongwu was stunned. What kind of place is Hall of Silence? The Silent Palace is a special place in the ancestral Magi Palace. Only those who have the bloodline of the Magi clan and the bloodline of the ancestral Magi can enter this place. Since you can enter this place, you should have the bloodline of the ancestral Magi. Xing Tian was also shocked. Hall of Silence was the most mysterious place in the ancestral Magi Palace. It was the most sacred place in the entire ancestral Magi Palace. Even great Magi couldn't enter. If one wanted to enter the Hall of Silence, only the Grand Sorcerer could do so. There were two ways to enter the ancestral Magi Palace. One was to cultivate to the level of ancestral Magi. The other was to have the bloodline of the ancestral Magi. It was difficult to cultivate to the level of ancestral Magi. It was too difficult. Otherwise, there wouldn't have been only 12 ancestral Magi in the Sorcerer tribe. They had existed since the birth of the Sorcerer tribe. Since then, no ancestral Magi were born in the Sorcerer tribe. It was even more difficult to inherit the bloodline of the ancestral Magi. Once an ancestral Magi fell, they would inherit the bloodline of the ancestral Magi. It was very difficult to obtain the inheritance of the ancestral Magi in the Sorcerer tribe. They had to go through many tests. If someone who inherited the bloodline of the ancestral Magi appeared, it meant that an ancestral Magi had fallen. But now, Xing Tian felt that it was unbelievable. Yang Hongwu was a human. How could he obtain the bloodline of the ancestral Magi? If he didn't obtain the bloodline of the ancestral Magi, how could he appear here? Enter the Hall of Silence? Cough, cough. Don't joke with me. I'm a human. How could I have the bloodline of the ancestral Magi? Yang Hongwu was speechless. This was too ridiculous. Are you sure this is Hall of Silence? Only ancestral Magi or people with the bloodline of the ancestral Magi can enter. There's no other possibility? Yes, I'm sure, Xing Tian said. Forget it. Seeing that Xing Tian was so serious, Yang Hongwu knew that it was useless to ask. This situation might be related to his physique. His physique didn't seem to be as simple as the Nine Dragons' sacred body. Although Yang Hongwu wasn't sure what was going on, he understood some things. Then, what dangers are there in the Hall of Silence? What are there? Yang Hongwu continued to ask. He didn't know anything else, but he could understand some of the situation in the Hall of Silence. After all, Yang Hongwu felt that this place was too quiet. Before a storm, it was usually very calm. But now it was so calm that it was a little scary. In such a big space, you could hear a pin drop clearly. This showed how strange this place was. I don't know. I don't have the qualifications to enter the Hall of Silence. So, I don't know what's in the Hall of Silence. I'm afraid that only the ancestral magi know. Xing Tian shook his head. After walking for a long time, there was a sudden change in front of him. Mountains appeared one after another. These mountains were so tall that they pierced through the clouds. Upon closer inspection, they were not mountains at all. Instead, they were gigantic statues. There were a total of 12 statues. Ancestral magi. These are the statues of the 12 ancestral magi. Seeing the huge statues, Xing Tian shouted. His tone was very respectful and full of reverence. Chapter 728. The origin of witches. The 12 ancestors of witches were the supreme existences of the witches' tribe. They were the ancestors of the witches' tribe, and each of them was extremely powerful. The 12 ancestors of witches could jointly set up the 12 heavens capital formation and summon the real body of Pangu. The real body of Pangu was extremely powerful, and its strength surpassed that of the great emperor. It could create a new world. The real body of Pangu could even compete with Hongjun Dao Ancestor. Hongjun Dao Ancestor was the strongest power in the whole untainted land and Pangu world. Even in Jotian City, he was a very powerful existence. Looking at these 12 huge statues, each of them exuded a terrifying pressure that made it hard for people to breathe. Yang Hongwu felt a terrifying power from the statues. This is the origin of the 12 ancestors of witches. Yang Hongwu took a deep breath. The enormous power was probably the origin of the 12 ancestors of witches. If he could get the origin of the 12 ancestors of witches, his strength would definitely improve by leaps and bounds. Not to mention breaking through the god realm to the venerable realm, it was even possible for him to break through the venerable realm to reach the saint realm. Yang Hongwu slowly approached the statues of the 12 ancestors of witches. However, he found that the enormous pressure made him unable to get close. The closer he got, the stronger the pressure. Is there no way for me to get the origin of the 12 ancestors of witches, or the inheritance of the 12 ancestors of witches? Yang Hongwu did not believe it. Such a treasure was a huge opportunity. It would be a pity if he gave it up. Yang Hongwu gritted his teeth and slowly approached. However, Yang Hongwu fell helpless. After approaching about 10 feet, a huge pressure blocked Yang Hongwu's way. It was as if there was a bottomless abyss in front of him that he could not cross. Formation or seal? No matter what, his way was blocked. Xing Tian, do you have a way for me to get the origin of the 12 ancestors of witches? Yang Hongwu asked Xing Tian. He was a great sorcerer of the witches' tribe. His strength was only a step away from the ancestors of witches. He should know something. I don't know either. I've never entered the Silence Hall before. Xing Tian shook his head. It can't be. You're at the peak of the senior wizard level, and you're only a little bit away from the ancestor wizard level. Yang Hongwu said, as far as I know, you're the wizard clan member closest to the ancestor wizard level. In fact, other than the 12 grand wizards, Xing Tian was the most powerful person. Even He was no match for him. Senior Magi and Quafu were also very powerful. They were both peak-level senior Magi, but compared with Xing Tian, Quafu and He were still weaker. Otherwise, He and Quafu wouldn't have died. I'm not qualified. I'm not qualified to enter this place. Xing Tian smiled bitterly. Only those who are recognized by the Hall of Silence can enter this place. As for the other questions, I don't know. If you want to obtain the inheritance of the witch ancestor and the treasures in the Hall of Silence, you have to comprehend it yourself. I can't help you. It wasn't that Xing Tian didn't want to help Yang Hongwu, but that he couldn't help him at all. Of course, to Xing Tian, this place was very beneficial to him. After all, these 12 statues were the statues of the 12 Grand Wizards. They contained the power of the witch ancestor's law, which could be of great help to him. It would be very beneficial for him to break through the ancestor wizard level in the future. Wisps of wizard power were absorbed into Xing Tian's body. At this moment, Qiyu saw everything in the heavenly wizard pot and went crazy. If he hadn't fallen out with Yang Hongwu, he could have absorbed the wizard power in the Hall of Silence by now. The entire heavenly wizard pot was suppressed and couldn't absorb any wizard power from the Hall of Silence. Therefore, Chi-Yu couldn't get any power, let alone the power of the witch ancestor's law. Young Hongwu, if you let me out, I can help you. Chi-Yu said, You can help me? But why should I believe you? Young Hongwu smiled softly. He didn't take Chi-Yu's words to heart. This guy was up to no good. He wanted to betray him and almost succeeded. Therefore, Young Hongwu wouldn't believe Chi-Yu now. It's true. I can help you get the essence of the 12 Grand Wizards. When the time comes, your strength will skyrocket and even surpass the great god Pangu, Chi-Yu said. You should know that the 12 Grand Wizards were formed from the blood essence of Pangu's fleshly body when he created the world. Therefore, it can be said that the entire Wu clan is Pangu's descendant. Who doesn't know that? In fact, everyone who came from Panga continent can be said to be Panga's descendant. Yang Hongwu rolled his eyes. Apart from the 3,000 innate demon gods, the rest were born in the 3 realms of desolation and Panga continent. Born in the desolation, they are all Pangu's descendants. Do I need you to tell me that? This was the truth, at least according to the transmission. As for whether it was true or not, Yang Hongwu didn't know. Moreover, rumor had it that Pangu had come to the 9 heavens and 10 lands as well, and had now surpassed the 9 heavens and 10 lands and entered a higher level of space. But legend had it that Pangu had fallen after the creation of the world, and his body had evolved into the true desolation world, Pangu's world. Then who was this Pangu who had come to the 9 heavens and 10 lands? Had he transmigrated here directly, or was it only his consciousness? Yang Hongwu was very curious about this, but he guessed that Pangu should be the same as him. Panga hadn't come here with his body, but with his spirit, or perhaps his soul. I really do have a way. You can ask if you don't believe me. In fact, when I was young, I wasn't very strong, even weaker than the average shaman. But later, I was able to go from an inconspicuous member of the Wu clan to a powerful celestial shaman in just a few years. Do you think there aren't any secrets behind this? Didn't you have any fortuitous encounters? Chi said to Yang Hongwu, So what? What does that have to do with me? You want me to let you go? That's not very likely. I hate betrayal, and you've already betrayed me. I'm already being merciful by not killing you, Yang Hongwu said coldly. You still want to be free? Dream on. You don't even want the chance to refine the 12 ancestral shamans' essences? Chi was incredulous. Refining the essences of the 12 ancestral shamans was such a huge benefit, but he didn't want to. Chapter 729. Pangu's Inheritance. You want to refine Pangu's heart and the sorcerer's world? What a joke. Chi-Yu's heart skipped a beat when he heard that. He sneered and said, If you want to refine Panga's heart, you need to be at least in the great sage realm. You're just in the god realm. You really think it's impossible? Yang Hongwu smiled. Then I'll let you see if it's possible. It wasn't easy to find Panga's heart, but it wasn't impossible. However, Yang Hongwu had found out the secret of the 12 ancestral sorcerer statues. As long as he got the secret, he would be able to find Panga's heart. Chi-Yu, do you really think I'm a fool who can't see through it? I've already found out the secret of the 12 ancestral sorcerer statues. You don't have to tell me, I know. Yang Hongwu said, You know? What do you know? Chi-Yu's heart jumped again. He thought to himself, Did this guy really find out? Chi knew the secret of the 12 ancestral sorcerer statues, because he got it by accident. I'll let you see if I really know the secret. I'll let you see. Yang Hongwu waved his hand, and a majestic power burst out. This was sorcery power. The sorcery power stimulated the 12 god statues, and the 12 god statues started to rotate. The ancestral sorcerer statues opened their eyes. The eyes of the 12 ancestral sorcerer statues shot out a ray of light. The 12 rays of light gathered together and formed a huge shadow. This huge illusory figure was so tall, sacred, and full of majesty. This is Panga's real body? Seeing this scene, everyone was stunned. They never thought that this would actually be the phantom of Pangu's real body. The power of the 12 ancestral sorcerer statues formed the shadow of Pangu's real body. It's just as I thought. Yang Hongwu was surprised. The Silence Hall was the real inheritance of the sorcerer tribe. As long as he could open the real body, he could get the real essence of the sorcerer tribe, the real supreme cultivation method. The most powerful secret method of the Wu tribe was not the cultivation method of the ancestor of sorcerers, but the cultivation method of the real body of Pangu. In fact, the secret methods practiced by the 12 ancestors of sorcery were all separated. Once they were combined, it would be the real cultivation method of Pangu's real body. The true body of Pangu opened his eyes. A beam of chaos light shot out of his eyes and fell into Yang Hongwu's eyes. Yang Hongwu shuddered. A majestic memory appeared in his mind, as if his mind was about to explode. At this moment, he felt waves of intense pain. The boundless memories were like an eruption of a mountain torrent, constantly crashing against him. Wave after wave, Yang Hongwu could not bear it and let out a loud roar. Yang Hongwu, seeing this situation, Xing Tian was extremely worried. Even Sherbauer and the other girls in Yang Hongwu's spiritual abode were very worried. It's okay. Master will be fine. Little White, the sky-devouring rat, was constantly absorbing the spiritual qi from the spiritual abode. He said, I didn't expect Master to be able to absorb the chaos qi. This is the chaos qi, which makes cultivation twice the result with half the effort. When Yang Hongwu received the memories, his body was constantly operating the cultivation method and absorbing the chaos qi. In fact, once the statues of the 12 ancestors of sorcery were activated and the real body of Pangu appeared, the power in this space, which was the chaos qi, was activated and constantly tempered Yang Hongwu's body. As the sky-devouring rat, Little White was very powerful. Its physique was also very special. It was said to be able to swallow the sky. Of course, it could absorb the chaos qi to cultivate. Slap! Little White's behavior made Mao angry. He slapped Little White's head. Luli was also angry. Damn it, Big Brother's in so much pain. You bastard. How can you still be in the mood to cultivate? Luli said angrily as he grabbed Little White. Let go, let go. Master will be fine. This is a great opportunity for Master. If I'm not wrong, Master should have received the inheritance of great god Pangu. Sky-devouring rat said. Little White is right. Yang Hongwu is now receiving Pangu's inheritance. He has already started cultivating the real body of Pangu. Sherbauer looked at Yang Hongwu and said, she knew that Yang Hongwu's luck was amazing, but she didn't expect him to be so powerful as to receive Pangu's inheritance. Pangu was also a super expert in Jiutian Shidi. He stood at the peak of Jiutian Shidi and was even stronger than the current strongest Great Emperor refinement. Pangu's real body secrets. Yang Hongwu started cultivating after receiving Pangu's memories. He didn't expect that he would receive Pangu's inheritance. The 12 ancestral witch statues recorded Great God Pangu's cultivation technique. In fact, the Pangu's real body secrets was also called the real body of chaos secrets. It was a powerful technique. It mainly cultivated the body and used strength to prove one's Tao. In the chaos 3 realms, proving one's Tao was actually proving one's Tao as a saint. Here it was talking about breaking through to the Great Emperor realm. The Pangu's real body secrets was a technique that used strength to prove one's Tao. This technique was one of the top techniques in Jiutian Shidi. It was a level higher than Great Emperor Refinement's Spirit Refining Heart Sutra. It was on the same level as Yang Hongwu's 9 transformations Yin-Yang technique. Of course, it was a level lower than the 9 Heavens Divine Dragon technique. The spiritual qi in Silence Hall was constantly being refined and absorbed by Yang Hongwu. This was the power of chaos. The spiritual qi in Silence Hall, including the 12 ancestral witch statues, was condensed from the power of chaos. This was to build a foundation for the person who received the inheritance of the Pangu's real body secrets. All of the power of chaos gushed towards Yang Hongwu in a frenzy, just like a whale sucking in water. 1 cycle, 2 cycles. The power of chaos was completely absorbed. The light and pressure of the 12 ancestral witch statues dimmed. After a long time, Yang Hongwu's body trembled. A huge shadow condensed behind him. This huge shadow was Pangu. At this moment, Yang Hongwu opened his eyes. A ray of light flashed past. Yang Hongwu's physical body had reached a new peak. He had successfully cultivated the Pangu's real body secrets and entered the first level. How could this be? Impossible! Qiyu shouted. Seeing that Yang Hongwu had really received the inheritance, how could he accept it? A person who wasn't from the witch tribe had received the inheritance of the great god Pangu? He couldn't accept it. He couldn't accept it. Haha. You didn't expect it, did you? I received the inheritance of the great god Pangu. Yang Hongwu laughed out loud. Looking at Qiyu, he knew that this old man would probably vomit blood from anger if his real body was still around. Congratulations. Unlike Qiyu, Xing Tian was envious but not jealous. Instead, he congratulated from the bottom of his heart. Chapter 730. Mysterious passage. Yang Hongwu sensed the power of Pangu's heart after he attained Pangu's legacy and cultivated Pangu true body scripture. Pangu's heart was indeed the core of the entire Magus world and the key to the entire ancestral Magus palace. What surprised Yang Hongwu was that the person closest to Pangu's heart was Ao Tianyi. His route was quite accurate as well. Once he entered the Ancestor Magi Palace, he headed straight to Pangu's heart, even avoiding some powerful traps. Does this guy have any other secrets? Yang Hongwu frowned. Otherwise, he wouldn't be so relaxed. Aside from Ao Tianyi, the rest of them didn't have an easy journey. Just like ancient Deity King and the rest, they encountered countless dangers along the way as they were constantly attacked by powerful voodoo beasts. Moreover, Yang Hongwu knew that Ao Tianyi didn't enter the ancestral Magi Palace for Pangu's heart, but for the inheritance of the Blood Dragon demonic god. The place where Blood Dragon Archfiend died and Pangu's heart were in the opposite direction. Why is that boy walking in the direction of Pangu's heart instead of the place where Blood Dragon Archfiend died? Yang Hongwu secretly followed him. As for the Blood Dragon, great demonic god's inheritance, Yang Hongwu wasn't in a hurry at all. Although the Blood Dragon demonic god had died in this ancestral Magi Palace, how could his inheritance be so easily obtained? Moreover, even if he refined the Blood Dragon grand demonic god and obtained his inheritance, so what? As long as he absorbed Pangu's heart and the entire Magus world, he would be the owner of this entire Magus world and the owner of this ancestral Magus Palace. Once he sealed the ancestral Magus Palace, no one would be able to come in or out, and he would be the owner of this place. I can feel that little bastard's aura. When Yang Hongwu broke through, Ancient God King discovered Yang Hongwu's aura. After he killed a voodoo beast with a punch, he chased after Yang Hongwu. Not good, big brother. Deity King Guyu is heading this way. Seeing the situation, Mao said anxiously. Yang Hongwu had asked Mao to keep an eye on the ancient Deity King situation. When he heard Mao's words, he was shocked. He did not expect the ancient Deity King's senses to be so powerful that he could discover his whereabouts in an instant. Let's go. Now is not the time to fight the ancient Deity King. Even if his cultivation had increased and his physical body was stronger than before, he was still no match for the ancient Deity King. If he met him, he could only continue to run. Therefore, Yang Hongwu did not hesitate and fled into the distance. He was heading in the direction of Pangu's heart, which was also where Ao Tianyi was heading. His speed was much faster than before. He used the Yin Yang 5 transformations void travel mystic technique. Because of this, the distance between him and Ao Tianyi was greatly shortened. It's here. Ao Tianyi stopped when he was still some distance away from Pangu's heart. He raised his right hand and took out a special talisman. The talisman emitted a dazzling light and fiercely shot at the stone wall. A large hole appeared on the stone wall. The hole was actually a passageway. Seeing this passageway, Yang Hongwu was extremely shocked. He did not sense the existence of this passageway at all. Even Mao did not see it. Xing Tian was also very surprised. How could there be a passageway here? How did he know? Xing Tian was extremely shocked. Where does this passageway lead to? Yang Hongwu was also very confused. Could it not lead to the location of Pangu's heart? Yang Hongwu estimated that this place was not far from the location of Pangu's heart. However, this passageway did not seem to lead to the location of Pangu's heart at all. The location of Pangu's heart was in Pangu's shrine. The entire Pangu's heart was a huge statue of Pangu. As long as Pangu's statue was refined, it was equivalent to refining Pangu's heart and obtaining the entire witch world. Yang Hongwu hesitated for a moment, but still decided to follow Ao Qiani to take a look. The appearance of this passageway was beyond Yang Hongwu's expectations. He had obtained Pangu's inheritance and some information about the ancestral Magi Palace from the 12 ancestors of sorcerers. However, he did not find the existence of this passageway. It was obvious that this passageway was not left behind by the 12 ancestors of sorcerers when they created the witch world. It appeared later. As for the origin of the person who built this passageway, no one knew. However, Yang Hongwu had a feeling that if he were to refine Pangu's heart now, there would be a big problem. This was because refining Pangu's heart was not something that could be done overnight. It would take time. If he did not catch up with Ao Qiani, there would be big trouble. It was because of this premonition that Yang Hongwu had given up on finding Pangu's heart and refining it. Instead, he had gone with proud heaven. After dozens of breaths, Yang Hongwu followed closely behind Ao Qiani. They walked a short distance, but this passageway seemed to have no end. Mauer used illusion breaker eyes to check, but could not see where it led to. After a long time, Ao Qiani finally stopped. It's here. I've finally arrived. As long as I obtain it, I will become the ruler of the entire ancient realm. I will become the ruler of the entire 9 heavens and 10 earths. Ao Qiani shouted. He took out a talisman. When Yang Hongwu saw the talisman appear, he immediately used the Yin-Yang 5 Revolution Void Travel secret technique and appeared in front of Ao Qiani. He reached out his hand and grabbed the talisman from Ao Qiani's hand. Who dares to steal from me? You're courting death. Ao Qiani was furious when he found that the talisman in his hand had been snatched away. This talisman was the key to entering that place and obtaining that inheritance. How could he not be angry when it was snatched away by someone else? A huge aura instantly erupted from his body and enveloped the entire passageway. Give it to me. Ao Qiani roared. Haha, Ao Qiani, I'll take this. Yang Hongwu laughed loudly. He did not put Ao Qiani's threat in his eyes. Ao Qiani's huge aura had no effect on Yang Hongwu. Courting death, Ao Tian made a grabbing motion with his right hand. His powerful magical power condensed into a terrifying giant hand and grabbed towards Yang Hongwu. It seemed as if the void was about to be crushed by this terrifying magical power. Umph. Yang Hongwu coldly snorted. Yin-Yang 3 rotation, Yin-Yang big hand seal. Yin and Yang Qi condensed together and formed a huge Yin-Yang big hand seal. It rushed towards a huge hand. Boom! Chapter 731. Jean Ao Tiani. Ao Tiani, your strength is only SOSO. Yang Hongwu chuckled. Even Ao Jingze was killed by me. If it wasn't for the leader stopping me, you would have been killed by me. You better get lost now, or you'll die too. You're Yang Hongwu. Ao Jingze's face darkened. He didn't expect this guy to be Yang Hongwu. Yes, it's me. Then all the more you should die. Ao Tiani roared in anger. Yang Hongwu had to die, and Ao Tiani wanted to tear him to shreds. Blood Dragon Soul Devouring Curse. Ao Tiani spat out a strange incantation. These ancient incantations formed blood-red dragons. These blood-red dragons were extremely fast, entangling Yang Hongwu. They attacked Yang Hongwu's soul directly. These are the ancient laws of curses. The inheritance of the blood dragon, great demon god? Xing Tian exclaimed. As a member of the witch tribe, how could he not know about the secret curse of the blood dragon, great demon god? The blood dragon soul devouring curse was a powerful secret technique of the blood dragon, great demon god. The blood dragon, great demon god had used this powerful secret technique to kill countless great shamans. Yang Hongwu, be careful. This curse is very powerful. It directly targets the soul. Xing Tian warned. Curse. I could do it too. Yang Hongwu chuckled. So what if it was a curse? Yin Yang 4 revolutions. Yin Yang soul lock curse. Let's see if your blood dragon soul devouring curse or my Yin Yang soul lock curse is stronger. Yang Hongwu circulated the mind refining heart sutra while casting the Yin Yang soul lock curse. He raised his cultivation to the extreme and activated the battle spirit possession. His cultivation soared in an instant. Ao Tianyi was stronger than Yang Hongwu, but after Yang Hongwu used the battle spirit possession, his cultivation rose to the venerable realm. In terms of cultivation, he was much stronger than Ao Tianyi. The two curses collided. The power of Yin and Yang broke through the blood dragons and devoured the blood dragon's curses. The nomological laws were also devoured. The blood dragon dissipated and was devoured, while the Yin-Yang soul lock curse became even more powerful. Suddenly, it slammed into Ao Tianyi. Ao Tianyi's body shook as an intense pain came from the depths of his soul. Ah! Ao Tianyi let out a blood-curdling scream. He hugged his head and groaned in pain. Unable to withstand a single blow, Yang Hongwu said coldly, although Ao Tianyi's blood dragon soul devouring curse was very powerful, but compared to Yang Hongwu, Ao Tianyi's spiritual power was too weak. The difference was like heaven and earth. Moreover, Yang Hongwu's yin-yang soul-locking curse was a very powerful secret technique. Yang Hongwu had already cultivated it to a very profound level. Therefore, Ao Tianyi was destined to meet a tragic end. Damn it! How could I lose? How could I lose? I'm the son of heaven. I'm destined to stand at the peak of this world and become the ruler of the 9 heavens and 10 earths. How could I lose? Ao Tianyi suddenly recovered his aura and roared towards the sky. Black demonic flames surged around him. His aura continued to climb, as if a terrifying demonic god had appeared. At this moment, his handsome face had disappeared and was replaced by a ferocious and terrifying face. Haha, Yang Hongwu, your time of death has come. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have truly merged with the blood dragon demonic god's heart. I wouldn't have my current cultivation base. In order to thank you, I'll give you a quick death. Ao Tianyi laughed wildly as he looked at Yang Hongwu. In his eyes, Yang Hongwu was a dead man. I heard that your women are very beautiful. All of them are as beautiful as flowers. After you die, I'll help you take good care of your women. You're courting death. Yang Hongwu was furious. How dare Ao Tianyi provoke him and threaten to take his women? He would definitely tear Ao Tianyi into pieces. Heaven Punishment Battle Chart, come out. In the sorcerer world, the Heaven Punishment Battle Chart could unleash its greatest power. In addition, Ao Tianyi had cultivated the Panga True Body Scripture. When combined with the Heaven Punishment Battle Chart, he was like a fish in water. A huge chart appeared, covering the sky and the sun. Xing Tian held the Heaven Punishment Axe in his hand and slashed it towards Ao Tianyi. It was as if the world was about to be split apart. The power of this axe was like Pangu's creation of the world. Panga True Body. Yang Hongwu shouted as his body underwent a huge transformation. He turned into a giant, incomparably ferocious. The muscles around his body were like steel bars, strong and powerful. Demon-slaying finger. He roared, and a huge palm appeared, condensing into a huge finger that emitted golden light. This huge finger seemed to be born from the Archean divinity world, and its purpose was to kill gods and demons. The power of the world, support. Yang Hongwu, who had transformed into the Panga True Body, erupted his strength to the extreme and consumed a huge amount of energy. In this way, he needed a huge amount of energy to support it. The power of the world in the small devil world was the best source of energy. With the support of the power of the small devil world, Yang Hongwu's energy consumption was huge, but he could still support it. The huge finger crushed over, as if it wanted to pierce through the entire universe. Golden light shrouded the entire earth, and that golden light beam was attacking Ao Tianyi. The place where the golden light beam reached was like the sun shining on a snowy mountain, melting the ice and snow. The whole place emitted a sizzling sound, which was the result of the suppression and melting of the demonic energy. Damn it, what kind of power is this? Ao Tianyi could feel an immense pressure coming from the giant golden finger. That power was something he hated the most. At this time, Ao Tianyi had truly transformed into a devil, and the power that Yang Hongwu displayed was the power of the demon-slaying finger, which was the nemesis of the demonic energy. It was a pure yang power, and for Ao Tianyi, it was the most annoying power. Demon exterminates the world. A huge demonic hand appeared, as if it came from the power of the ancient devil world, and terrifying phantoms of demon gods appeared around Ao Tianyi. That was the phantoms of the ancient devil world, which contained the supreme power of the devil Tao and supreme devil Tao law. Two huge forces, one righteous and one evil, collided together and issued an earth-shattering sound. Terrifying energy rushed out like a mountain flood, sweeping out. The space shook, and the entire passage was submerged by that huge light beam. Kacha-kacha. This space passage could no longer withstand such a huge impact and issued a crisp sound. The entire space passage began to crack and began to collapse. Damn it! Yang Hongwu's complexion changed, and the space was unable to withstand it. Clear Sky Pagoda, come out for me. Chapter 732. Pangu's heart appears with a series of loud noises. The space collapsed, and the entire passage exploded. Under the protection of the Clear Sky Pagoda, Yang Hongwu felt the terrifying power. If he was not careful, he might die. What a terrifying, destructive power. Yang Hongwu was shocked. Fortunately, he had the Clear Sky Pagoda. Otherwise, he would have died here. This terrifying, destructive power shocked Yang Hongwu to the core. He wondered how Ao Tianyi was doing now. That bastard had obtained the power of the blood demon. His strength was not to be underestimated. Otherwise, he would not have been so diligent. Damn it, Ao Tianyi roared. His body appeared in front of Yang Hongwu again. However, Ao Tianyi's aura was much weaker than before. They were not on the same level. One could say that one was in the sky while the other was in the ground. Ao Tianyi's consumption was huge. He was already an arrow at the end of its flight. His aura was chaotic. At this moment, his fighting strength was many times weaker than before. Ao Tianyi, I didn't expect that such a powerful destructive power could not kill you. Your life is really tough. Yang Hongwu looked at Ao Tianyi with a smile. However, so what if your life is tough? You will still die here. You will still die in my hands. Just like Ao Zhangze, you will die without a doubt. With that, Yang Hongwu moved. He used the demon-killing finger again. The huge golden finger appeared again and stabbed towards Ao Tianyi. Although the power of this finger was not as strong as the previous one, it was still incomparably powerful. Seeing this finger, Ao Tianyi's face changed. The power of this finger was too terrifying. It wasn't something that he could withstand. If it was before, it wouldn't be difficult to block this finger. But now it was impossible to do so. Unparalleled, demonic power. Ao Tianyi gathered what little power he had left and unleashed his final, most powerful attack in an attempt to block this terrifying attack and survive. However, it was all in vain. The demon-killing finger was very sensitive to the power of demons. It had a great effect on the destruction of demonic power. Boom! Another loud boom rang out as the gigantic finger slammed into Ao Tianyi's body. Ao Tianyi burst out, and that horrifying devil god body was shattered into pieces by this horrifying power. In the next moment, it vanished into thin air, disappearing from the world. Ao Tianyi was dead just like that. At this time, Yang Hongwu sucked in a deep breath. This fellow was really difficult to deal with. Although he had killed Ao Tianyi, Yang Hongwu had consumed a great deal of energy. His strength was much weaker than before, and the battle spirit possession's time had come to an end. He was even weaker now. Yang Hongwu could feel several powerful forces rushing towards where he was, and one of them was the most familiar. It was the power of the ancient underworld deity king. Damn it! Yang Hongwu was incomparably depressed. He hadn't expected so many experts to come. Yang Hongwu could sense the existence of Panga's heart. Right now, he was severely injured. Although they couldn't use their spiritual power here, he wasn't a match for them in his current state. After all, he had consumed too much of his mental power. Moreover, even if he was in his peak state, he didn't dare to let his guard down. Ordinary people couldn't use their spiritual power here, but that wasn't absolute. After all, A.O. Tianyi was one of them. That guy could use his spiritual power, and he was very powerful. If it wasn't for his good luck, the outcome would have been uncertain. Let's go. Yang Hongwu didn't hesitate. He activated the void travel and moved quickly to avoid those guys, especially to avoid that old thing, the ancient underworld deity king. There's no need for that. At this time, a voice rang in Yang Hongwu's ears. It was Shi Bao. What do you mean? You could just hide your aura. There's no need to leave this place. Once you hide your aura and cultivation, ordinary people won't be able to detect you. Shi Bao said. Even the ancient underworld deity king wouldn't know. Is there such a secret method to hide one's aura? Yang Hongwu asked. The ancient underworld deity king's spiritual power and perception were very frightening. If he was discovered by that old thing here, it would be troublesome. He can't use his spiritual power here, so you can rest assured. Moreover, Panga's heart is about to appear. Are you going to give up just like that? Shi Bao said. I don't think you're willing to give up, right? Of course I'm not willing to give up. Yang Hongwu nodded. What a joke. Panga's heart was the greatest treasure in the ancestral Magi Palace. Yang Hongwu would never agree to give it up just like that. It was definitely worth taking a risk for Panga's heart. Moreover, he cultivated the Panga True Body Scripture. The possibility of obtaining Panga's heart was very high. I'll teach you this concealment method, Shi Bao said. If you use it with the shadowless battle body, you don't have to worry at all. Even if the ancient underworld deity king can use his spiritual power, he won't be able to discover you. Shi Bao raised his fair hand and flicked a beam of 7-colored light into Yang Hongwu's glabella. Instantly, some memories appeared in Yang Hongwu's mind. This was a secret method to hide one's aura. This secret method was not simple. It had a myriad of transformations. Not only could it hide one's aura, but could also transform into anything at any time. Yang Hongwu sighed. This secret method was much more powerful than the 72 transformations in the journey to the west. Yang Hongwu's cultivation speed was also very fast. It only took him a dozen breaths to master this concealment method. Yang Hongwu immediately concealed his aura completely. Unless a great emperor entered this place, it would be very difficult to discover his existence. As soon as Yang Hongwu concealed himself, a few powerful auras appeared. One of them was a huge voodoo beast. This was the demon-devouring heavenly witch, the most powerful voodoo beast in the sorcerer tribe. The strongest demon-devouring heavenly, which was almost on par with a Tao ancestor. However, although this demon-devouring heavenly witch was very strong, it was still far from a true sorcerer tribe member. After a few more breaths, more powerful auras appeared. Among them, there were martial artists from the human tribe, the demon tribe, and even other tribes. Among these people, the most powerful ones were the ancient underworld deity king and the woman beside him, Princess Guyu. These two people represented the most powerful forces in the entire ancient underworld clan. They were also Yang Hongwu's sworn enemies. Powerful forces appeared one after another. Yes, there are not only people from the sorcerer world, but also people from other continents and worlds. However, the strongest among these people was not as strong as the ancient underworld deity king. They did not give Yang Hongwu as much pressure as the ancient underworld deity king. What's that? Chapter 733. The secret method of rebirth. That must be Pangu's heart, Xing Tian exclaimed. I didn't expect Pangu's heart to appear. What a shocking energy. Yang Hongwu could feel the terrifying energy contained in Pangu's heart. The energy was enough to make any great saint explode. Even an ordinary great emperor couldn't withstand such terrifying energy. Yang Hongwu's eyes flickered. He must get Pangu's heart. Everyone saw the huge heart. Thump, thump, thump. The huge heart was still beating. Every heartbeat was like a huge bell, knocking on everyone's hearts. The huge heartbeat formed a strange resonance. Yang Hongwu took a deep breath. At this moment, everyone stopped and looked at the huge heart. Is this Panga's heart? This must be Panga's heart. Once you get Panga's heart, your strength will increase by leaps and bounds. You will be able to control the entire sorcerer world and become a master of the sorcerer world, someone shouted. Let's go. Whoever gets Panga's heart can break through the great emperor realm and become the master of the sorcerer world. Suddenly, countless people went crazy. Who dares? Panga's heart belongs to the sorcerer tribe. Who dares to touch it? A senior magus abruptly punched out, and the terrifying power exploded the cultivator who was at the front of the group. Such a treasure should belong to the virtuous. You sorcerer tribe have been in the sorcerer world for so many years, and you still haven't found Panga's heart. You still haven't gained its recognition. You're dreaming if you want to stop others. Kill them. Everyone, let's kill these sorcerer tribe members together, a peak martial saint shouted. That's right. Everyone, let's go together. The sorcerer tribe is no longer the sorcerer tribe of the past. There are only a few of us left, and we're struggling at death's door. Why should we be afraid of them? The sorcerer tribe doesn't even have an ancestor sorcerer now. Everyone shouted and rushed towards the sorcerer tribe. The sorcerer tribe was their biggest competitor. After all, Panga's heart could be the core of the sorcerer world. The sorcerer tribe's blood was more suitable for Panga's heart. Therefore, the sorcerer tribesmen had a much higher chance of inheriting Pangu's heart than ordinary people. If he wanted to get Pangu's heart, he had to kill the Wu clan first. It would be best if he could kill them all. All of a sudden, everyone's eyes turned red, and they charged towards the sorcerer tribe with murderous intent. Of course, there were some almighties who did not do so, including the ancient Nether clan. The leaders were the ancient Nether King and Princess Ancient Nether. Damn it, you guys are courting death. A great sorcerer was furious. The strength of a great sorcerer was very powerful. It was equivalent to the great saint realm. Although the sorcerer tribe had declined, this was the sorcerer world after all. There were still sorcerer tribe members, and these sorcerer tribe members had existed for a long time. They were the elites of the sorcerer tribe. The strength of each of the great sorcerers was equivalent to the great sage intermediate stage, late stage, or even peak stage. Yang Hongwu, if you want to be recognized by Panga's heart and obtain the entire sorcerer world, you have to save the sorcerer tribe, Xing Tian said. No, it's too dangerous. Those guys are very powerful, and there are so many of them. Once brother takes action, he will definitely be surrounded by them. Mao, was said loudly before Yang Hongwu could say anything. Mao is right. We can't take action so easily. Luli added, these guys are very powerful, and there are so many of them. Once we take action, brother will become the target of everyone's attacks. Xing Tian, if you ask brother to go out now, aren't you asking brother to die? Now that the situation was chaotic, if Yang Hongwu took the lead, he would be in danger. Moreover, the most important thing is to get Panga's heart. The more chaotic the situation is, the better it is for brother. Because brother has obtained the inheritance of the great god Pangu and cultivated the Pangu true body technique. If nothing goes wrong, the inheritance of Pangu's heart will definitely be brother's. Nini also woke up at this time. She said, so, brother just needs to wait. Xing Tian's face changed. After all, he was from the sorcerer tribe and was the former commander of the sorcerer tribe. He was a great sorcerer. When he saw the sorcerer tribe being besieged and many of them dying, he was heartbroken. Yang Hongwu, although you have obtained the inheritance of Pangu, if you can't help the sorcerer tribe, you won't be recognized by Panga's heart. Xing Tian said, because Panga's heart has its own consciousness. It is the core of the entire sorcerer world and the root of the sorcerer tribe. If you want to be recognized by Panga's heart, you must be recognized by the sorcerer tribe. Yang Hongwu smiled when he heard this. He did not agree with Xing Tian's words. Of course, Panga's heart definitely had its own consciousness, but this trace of consciousness probably belonged to Pangu or the 12 ancestral sorcerers. No matter whose consciousness it was, after he obtained Panga's heart, this consciousness must be erased. Otherwise, it would be an unstable factor. Don't worry. If the sorcerer tribe only had that little trump card, the entire sorcerer tribe would have been destroyed long ago. Yang Hongwu said calmly, "The sorcerer tribe hasn't shown their trump card yet. Do you think I don't know?" Yang Hongwu felt some powerful auras again. These powerful auras belonged to the sorcerer tribe. He had thought that the sorcerer tribe had been destroyed, but he did not expect that the sorcerer tribe still had such a strong foundation in the sorcerer world. As the saying goes, a starving camel is still bigger than a horse. The sorcerer tribe still had a strong foundation. Even though the sorcerer tribe had suffered heavy losses after the Great War, and even the 12 ancestral sorcerers had disappeared, the sorcerer tribe's strength was undeniable. You dare to attack the sorcerer tribe? This is a provocation to the sorcerer tribe. A voice roared. It was an expert at the peak of the Grand Sorcerer realm. He had a pair of terrifying eyes and released a terrifying, murderous aura. He held a huge knife in his hand, and every time he swung it, he would kill an expert. This is a mess. Deity King Gu Yu's face darkened. He turned to Princess Gu Yu and said, "Leave this place first." "Father, I won't leave." Princess Gu Yu said, "Listen to me. The situation is out of control now. The people from the sorcerer tribe will be here soon. I suspect that this is a conspiracy of the sorcerer tribe," Deity King Gu Yu said. Yang Hongwu was hiding in the distance and heard what Deity King Gu Yu said. A conspiracy was possible. After Yang Hongwu received Panga's inheritance, he also received a lot of information about the sorcerer tribe. Among the information, there was a terrifying secret technique that used the blood and souls of countless experts as a sacrifice to revive the sorcerer tribe. During the Great War of the sorcerer and demon race in the untainted three realms, the sorcerer tribe had used this secret technique once. Back then, the sorcerer tribe had killed countless members of the demon race and used their blood in exchange for the revival of an ancestral sorcerer. Could it be that the sorcerer tribe was using the same secret technique this time? Yang Hongwu's heart sank. He looked at Xing Tian and said, "The sorcerer tribe's scheme is really powerful." Chapter 734. The Great Formation. Who was the one the sorcerer tribe was going to revive? Pangu was definitely not. How powerful was Pangu? He had already left this part of the starry sky and this part of the universe and entered a higher part of the universe. In that case, the one who was going to be revived was definitely one of the 12 grand sorcerers. As for which one, it would depend on the situation. Yang Hongwu did not appear. At this moment, the sorcerer tribe army had arrived. Many powerful grand sorcerers and heaven sorcerers set up a terrifying great formation. Yang Hongwu was very familiar with this great formation. This was the 12 Tiandu Great Formation. This 12 Tiandu Great Formation could only be set up by the 12 Grand Sorcerers. When they summoned Pangu's real body to fight, they could even fight against Dao Ancestor Hongjun. Without the essence of sorcerers, there was no way to set it up. However, this 12 Tiandu Great Formation was a simplified version, or rather an improved version. It could be set up without the essence of sorcerers, but its power would be much weaker. However, even if it was weaker, it was still not something an ordinary Great Formation could compare to. It was not as simple as 1 plus 1. Each of the 12 Sorcerer Tribe experts had the power of at least Heaven's Sorcerer. When they were added together, their power instantly increased by a lot. Even if they had not reached the Great Emperor realm, they could still fight against a Great Emperor. No one below the Great Emperor realm could fight against this 12 Tiandu Great Formation. "Oh no, this is the 12 Tiandu Great Formation of the Sorcerer Tribe," a knowledgeable person shouted. This person was a grand demon from the Demon Tribe. The Demon Tribe and the Sorcerer Tribe were once sworn enemies. He was very clear about the Sorcerer Tribe's power and methods. The 12 Tiandu Great Formation of the Sorcerer Tribe and the Demon Tribe's Great Formation of the 12 Tiandu Great Formation were of the same level. He was very clear about the power of the Great Formation of the Heavenly Stars and the 12 Tiandu Great Formation. The Great Formation that was set up now was the 12 Tiandu Great Formation. He did not expect the sorcerer tribe to not know about the 12 Tiandu Great Formation. No one present could fight against it. Father, what is the 12 Tiandu Great Formation? Is he very powerful? Princess Guyu did not know much about the sorcerer tribe. She could not help but ask when she heard the big demon's expression change. When ancient Yu Divine King heard about the 12 Celestial Capital Formation, his expression changed. He said, "The 12 Celestial Capital Formation is the most powerful formation of the sorcerer tribe." Rumor has it that when the 12 ancestors of sorcerer set up the 12 Celestial Capital Formation together, they could summon the real body of Pangu. Pangu is one of the most powerful cultivators. He has transcended the Great Way, and his strength is boundless. In the entire 9 heavens and 10 lands, no one can defeat him. Therefore, if the 12 ancestors of sorcerer set up the 12 Celestial Capital Formation, it would be extremely terrifying. If he's that powerful, how did the sorcerer tribe end up in such a state? Princess Guyu was clearly in disbelief. Because there are only 11 ancestral sorcerers left. One ancestral sorcerer called Hoodoo hasn't appeared. There are only 11 ancestral sorcerers, and 11 ancestral sorcerers can't form the 12 Hindu formation. That's why the sorcerer tribe has fallen to such a state, ancient god King Guyu mumbled. Although he didn't know much about the great battle back then, he knew a little about it. If the sorcerer tribe had the 12 ancestral sorcerers back then, it wouldn't have been worth the 12 Tiandu formation. In that case, the sorcerer world wouldn't have been destroyed. However, these guys had set up such a terrifying formation and had been preparing for countless years. They probably wanted everyone here to stay. Let's go. Although ancient god King Guyu wanted to seize Panga's heart, he would die if he didn't leave now. He didn't think that his strength could withstand the might of the 12 Tiandu formation. No, I want to stay. I don't believe that the 12 Tiandu formation is that powerful, Princess Guyu said coldly. Moreover, I feel that there's someone here, someone who will be entangled with me for the rest of my life. Princess Guyu's words gave Yang Hongwu a shock. When Princess Guyu spoke, she was looking in his direction. Moreover, Yang Hongwu could faintly feel that there was an inexplicable attraction between him and Princess Guyu. Only a pure immortal body or a pure saint body could attract him. Could it be that Princess Guyu had a pure immortal body? A fated person who will be entangled with you for the rest of your life? Ancient God King Guyu narrowed his eyes and said, "Could it be the 9 Yang saint body?" Ancient God King Guyu knew that his daughter was a pure saint body. Her fated person should be a pure Yang saint body. Ancient God King Guyu scanned his surroundings, but didn't discover the existence of a pure Yang saint body. Perhaps that fella's strength was so terrifying that he hid his cultivation so that he couldn't discover it. Suddenly, ancient God King Guyu thought of something. Could it be that little bastard? For some reason, ancient God King Guyu thought of Yang Hongwu. Although that fellow wasn't strong, he had countless tricks up his sleeve. Every time he was almost caught, he was able to escape unscathed. This made ancient God King Guyu very depressed. His strength was much stronger than Yang Hongwu's, but he couldn't catch him. Even if he wanted to kill him, he couldn't do so, which made him lose face. Moreover, he was sure that the little bastard must have come here. However, he couldn't find out where he was. Even if the fated person can find you, he has to leave. He's in danger here. I suspect that the sorcerer tribe has a shocking conspiracy. Ancient God King Guyu shook his head. Although he wanted to know who his daughter's fated person was, he had once used an illusion to confuse Yang Hongwu with his daughter, but he had failed. Yang Hongwu was the future of the entire ancient god tribe. It wasn't impossible for him to be his daughter's fated person. If that was the case, it would be easier for his daughter to find Yang Hongwu than for him. In that case, it would be of greater help to the ancient god tribe. He could tell that Yang Jio's luck was very strong, and his potential and talent were shocking. As long as he had enough time, it wouldn't be difficult for him to surpass him. Although he didn't want to admit it, it was the truth. "Father, you leave first. I know what to do," Princess Guyu said. Looking at his daughter's determined eyes, ancient god King Guyu sighed. She knew that it was dangerous, but she still wanted to stay. This was his daughter's temper. Once she had made up her mind, no one could change it. Even her father couldn't do anything about it. After all, he only had one daughter. All right, I'll take the risk with you. Ancient god King Guyu sighed. Thank you, father. Princess Guyu's face lit up as she said to God King Guyu. Although her strength was decent, she was still far from her father's. With her father's help, she would be much safer. Chapter 735. Alter the 12 celestial capital formation was terrifying. It covered an area with a radius of a few hundred feet. If not for the lack of strength, it would have covered an even wider area. Almost everyone was enveloped in the formation. Terrifying attacks were launched from the formation. Those who entered the ancestral Magi Palace screamed in agony. Everyone, let's attack together. We must break the formation. Otherwise, we will all die, as Sage shouted. All right, this time, everyone used their trump cards. They knew how powerful the 12 Heavens Capital Formation was. If they couldn't break the formation, everyone would die here. No one wanted to die. In order to survive, they used all their strength. They attacked the formation with their strongest attacks. Everyone, let's attack the same spot. Although the formation is powerful, it covers a wide area. As long as we attack the same spot, we will definitely be able to break the formation. Hearing his words, everyone attacked at the same spot. All of a sudden, streams of energy lit up the entire ancestral Magi Palace. However, the 12 celestial capital formation was not that simple. If it could be broken so easily, it would not be the legendary formation. Rumble. The powerful attacks almost tore the space apart. The dazzling light made it hard for people to open their eyes. However, the array formation was still not blasted open. Only a small crack was opened, but that small crack closed within a breath's time. Everyone, let's work harder. There are not many of them. They can't hold on. Once the formation is broken, we will be free. Then, let's kill all these damned sorcerer tribesmen. Kill them all. Kill. Again and again, he attacked. The sorcerer tribesmen who used the 12 celestial capital formation consumed a lot of energy. After all, there were too many of them. Although they were powerful, they could not hold on. However, they still managed to hold on. If they could not, someone else would take their place. Yang Hongwu looked at everything, including Princess Guyu and the Supreme Being Guyu. Of course, there were other warriors. Although they were not covered by the 12 celestial capital formation, they were still shocked. The sorcerer tribesmen had a strong foundation. It was not something that ordinary forces could compare to. Back then, the sorcerer tribe had indeed suffered a huge blow. However, their foundation was still there. It was just that they had hidden it. Even Xing Tian found it hard to believe that the sorcerer tribe still had such a powerful force. Moreover, he was not familiar with these people. Could it be that these people rose to prominence later on? However, something didn't seem right. Some of them looked older than him. Perhaps this was a trump card left behind by the 12 ancestors of sorcery, the last safeguard of the sorcerer tribe. But even so, it was still very terrifying. Who would have thought that the sorcerer world had been destroyed, and the sorcerer tribe, which was on the brink of extinction, still had such a powerful force? The sorcerer tribe is really not simple. Yang Hongwu said to Xing Tian. The current sorcerer tribe is not any weaker than those powerful forces in the ancient region. In fact, they are even stronger. Xing Tian didn't say anything. Although Yang Hongwu did not know what the sorcerer tribe was up to and who they wanted to revive, he felt that he had to obtain Panga's heart. Only by obtaining Panga's heart could his strength really improve by leaps and bounds. Only then would he have enough confidence to deal with Zetian. In the Great Formation, the experts died one after another under the attack of the sorcerer tribe. After their deaths, their flesh and souls turned into pure energy and were absorbed by the formation. The entire ancestral Magus Palace turned into a huge altar. The huge blood-red heart beat even more vigorously. Blood sacrifice. Sure Bauer's voice sounded in Yang Hongwu's spiritual abode. This is a kind of ritual. It is not for revival, but for summoning. Summoning? Yang Hongwu was puzzled. He asked, who was it summoning? Which ancestor of sorcerer? or the great god Pangu? It can't be Pangu. The price to summon Panga back is far from enough, Sherbauer said. It should be one of the 12 ancestors of Sorcerer. Yang Hongwu's face darkened. He could not let them succeed in their summoning. Once the ancestors of Sorcerer appeared, their strength would be boundless. Moreover, this was the ancestral Magus Palace, the headquarters of the Sorcerer tribe. If the ancestors of Sorcerer appeared, would Pangu's heart still be on its own? Therefore, he had to interrupt the ritual. However, Yang Hongwu was not confident in doing it alone. After all, there were other Sorcerer tribe members besides those who were in charge of the formation. Obviously, these Sorcerer tribe members were there to deal with the others and prevent the people who were in charge of the formation from being disturbed. Since he could not do it alone, he had to find someone to help him. Now that he was strong enough and not in the formation, only Divine King Guyu could do it. Yang Hongwu looked at Divine King Guyu. At this time, he had to take a risk in order to obtain Panga's heart. Since Divine King Guyu did not leave, he probably wanted to take advantage of the situation. If he could not stir up the situation, he would not have a chance at all. Therefore, Yang Hongwu moved towards Divine King Guyu in a flash. Who's there? The ancient Yu Divine King was very powerful and had a very sharp consciousness. The moment Yang Hongwu approached, he sensed it and immediately gathered a powerful force. As long as he sensed the slightest threat, he would launch a terrifying attack and kill the other party. It's me, Divine King. Long time no see. You're still as elegant as ever. Is this your daughter? You're indeed a beauty. Yang Hongwu appeared before Divine King Guyu and smiled. Yang Hongwu, you actually came knocking on my door. Seeing Yang Hongwu, Divine King Guyu was stunned at first. Then he squinted his eyes and said, Princess Guyu looked at Yang Hongwu with interest. She was surprised to see that his cultivation was not high, but he was able to escape from her father every time. What surprised Princess Guyu even more was that the aura she had sensed previously was Yang Hongwu's. This lad was her fated person. However, his cultivation seemed to be a little too weak. Thinking of this, Princess Guyu frowned slightly. What do you mean by knocking on my door? Yang Hongwu asked. I dare to stand here because I'm confident that Divine King will not attack me. You're very confident. Divine King Guyu's face darkened as he said. We have the same enemy now, which is the Sorcerer tribe. If we can't break this array of the Sorcerer tribe, I'm afraid both of us will have to stay in the Sorcerer world. Yang Hongwu said, Aren't you overestimating the Sorcerer tribe? Divine King Guyu said, The Sorcerer tribe is conducting a ritual. I'm afraid they're using the flesh and souls of these warriors to summon an ancestor sorcerer. Once the ancestor sorcerer appears, I wonder how confident Divine King is in escaping the sorcerer world? Yang Hongwu looked at Divine King Guyu and said, Ritual? Chapter 736. Cooperation. It's actually real. Ancient Yu's expression changed when he took a closer look. If that was the case, things would be troublesome. It was impossible to leave this place now. Once the ancestral sorcerer was resurrected, no one here would be able to leave alive. He knew how powerful the ancestral sorcerer was. The ancestral sorcerer of the Sorcerer clan was as powerful as the ancestor god of the Ancient Yu clan. You should be able to leave this place, right? Ancient Yu looked at Yang Hongwu suspiciously. This kid's mysterious escape technique allowed him to travel freely in his domain. Although the ancestral sorcerer palace was powerful, it might not be able to trap him. That's right. I can leave. Yang Hongwu nodded. However, if I leave now, I won't be able to get Panga's heart. I want to increase my strength in the shortest time possible to reach the supremacy realm. The only way is to get Panga's heart. Although he could leave, Yang Hongwu didn't want to do so. Once he got Panga's heart, his strength would definitely reach the supremacy realm. Even if he couldn't, his Panga true body technique would improve by leaps and bounds. By then, if he could cultivate the Panga true body, his physical body would be able to contend against a saint or even a great saint, even if his cultivation hadn't reached the supremacy realm. The Zetian gave him too much pressure. Yang Hongwu had a feeling that the demon in the Earth Spirit Palace was about to awaken. There was no way to suppress him. The only way to deal with that demon was to have a breakthrough in strength. Of course, there was another way, which was to become a demon. Yang Hongwu would become a demon too. Once he became a demon, his strength would definitely soar because Yang Hongwu's right hand was a demon's hand. Moreover, it was the demon's hand of a supreme ancestral devil. Yang Hongwu even had a mysterious feeling that the original owner of his right hand was even more terrifying than the three ancestral devils. He was a true, supreme expert of the devil clan. However, Yang Hongwu didn't want to become a demon. Once he became a demon, he might lose his mind and self. Yang Hongwu was absolutely unwilling to lose himself in order to obtain power. If he lost himself, he would no longer be himself. You want Pangu's heart? How ambitious of you. Upon hearing Yang Hongwu's words, immortal King Gu Yu was astonished. He looked at him and said, "You're a mere human. The probability of you obtaining Pangu's heart from the sorcerer tribe and the sorcerer world is too low." Yang Hongwu smiled and said, "How do you know if you don't try? Letting you obtain Pangu's heart is out of the question." Suddenly, Princess Gu Yu interrupted. "We can cooperate, but Panga's heart must belong to us." That's right. Deity King Gu Yu nodded in agreement when he heard his daughter speak. Panga's heart is useless to you. Yang Hongwu had obtained the Panga true body scripture, so he naturally had some understanding of Panga's heart. It was impossible for anyone in this plane to gain the recognition of Panga's heart, unless they forcefully refined it. But how is it possible to forcefully refine it? What kind of person was Pangu? He was extremely powerful. Even a little bit of his consciousness was extremely powerful. Even a great emperor couldn't do it. What do you mean it's useless? If we can obtain Pangu's heart and refine it, we might be able to break through and become a great emperor. Princess Guyu said coldly. In reality, Princess Guyu knew that it wasn't realistic, but she still said it. She didn't know why, but she felt uncomfortable when she saw that Yang Hongwu wasn't looking at her. It was as though he didn't notice her at all. She was a great beauty, but this B** star was looking at her with disdain. This made her a little angry. She only said that to attract Yang Hongwu's attention. After all, this B** star might be the fated one for her. Haha, if you can refine it, it's not like I can't give it to you. Yang Hongwu laughed. However, the most important thing for us now is to break the formation and interrupt the blood sacrifice. Otherwise, the sorcerer tribe will summon the ancestor sorcerer, and we'll all die. How to cooperate? How to break the formation? I think you already have an idea. Ancient You looked at Yang Hongwu and said, "This B** star had a lot of ideas. He was as cunning as a fox. If he wasn't careful, he might be tricked by this B** star. Hence, Ancient You was very careful. Moreover, he had already said that he might really be able to refine Panga's heart. His tone was so confident. He might have obtained something crucial in the Ancestor Sorcerer Palace. And this thing was something that could refine Panga's heart. Let's attack together. Attack the guy with the weakest aura." Yang Hongwu pointed at a sorcerer tribe member. That sorcerer tribe member's cultivation wasn't outstanding. He sat at the side with his eyes closed. That sorcerer tribe member? Can we break the formation by killing him? Ancient You saw that the person that Yang Hongwu pointed at wasn't the strongest. Instead, he was the weakest among all the sorcerer tribe members. This made him feel very strange. How could the weakest sorcerer tribe member be the key to the formation and sacrifice? Don't ask so many questions. Just do as I say. Yang Hongwu didn't intend to explain clearly. Instead, he said, "We don't have much time. All right, if I kill that guy and the formation isn't broken, I'll teach you a lesson." "Humph," Princess Guyu said and glared at Yang Hongwu. "Don't be careless. I said that we can break the formation by killing that sorcerer tribe member. However, that guy isn't that easy to kill. He's the key to the formation and is also the target of protection. Although there aren't many people around to protect him, once we attack him, the power of the entire formation will be activated. At that time, if we're not careful, we might be finished." Yang Hongwu reminded in a serious tone. "Then let me do it." Ancient You said, "A mere heaven sorcerer is nothing to me." The strength of a heaven sorcerer was equivalent to that of a sage. Ancient Yu's strength was at the level of a supreme sage. If he unleashed all of his strength, he could reach the peak of a supreme sage. Why would he care about a mere heaven sorcerer? With that, Ancient Yu's body flashed and disappeared from the spot. His entire body seemed to have turned into a shadow. In the next moment, a long sword appeared. Swoosh! The sword pierced towards the heaven sorcerer. Seeing that the sword was about to pierce through the heaven sorcerer's head, the heaven sorcerer suddenly opened his eyes. Then he raised his right hand and flicked his finger. A terrifying beam of light shot out from his finger. Boom! The long sword and the beam of light collided and released a huge amount of energy. It was as if the world was about to collapse. The huge impact of the energy sent Yang Hongwu and Princess Guyu flying. Chapter 737. Resurrection of the Witch Ancestor. Godly King Guyu didn't have it easy either. Although he was strong, he couldn't withstand this terrifying attack and was forced back. Damn it, he's so strong. Godly King Guyu couldn't hold it in anymore. He just said that it would be easy to kill the Celestial Witch, but he didn't gain the upper hand in the previous attack and was forced back dozens of steps instead. The Celestial Witch was still there and didn't move at all. Damn it, I don't believe it. Godly King Guyu was enraged. He raised both of his hands, and terrifying magical energy began to gather on them. A terrifying rare phenomenon vaguely appeared above his head. Kill! Godly King Guyu roared and pushed both of his hands forward. A huge beam of light shot out. The terrifying power was earth-shattering and wanted to destroy the world. The Celestial Witch's expression changed. This time, he threw out a punch. The powerful force tore the space apart and formed a small black hole. The two terrifying forces collided once more and caused an earth-shattering explosion. Kaboom! The huge impact of the energy blasted the surroundings into smithereens. Still not dead, Godly King Guyu's strength was undeniable. However, even though the witch ancestor was only a celestial witch, his cultivation and combat strength were terrifying. Godly King Guyu still couldn't gain the upper hand in this attack. The dust dispersed, but the celestial witch didn't move at all. Scram! A voice came from the celestial witch's mouth. Godly King Guyu was enraged to the extreme. Scram? Who the hell was he? He was the clan leader of the ancient Nether clan, the Godly King Guyu. How could he be looked down upon by a celestial witch? You're courting death. Godly King Guyu's expression darkened. Did he have to use his trump card to deal with this guy? Godly King Guyu, you can't do it. Let me deal with this guy. Yang Hongwu couldn't help but laugh at Godly King Guyu's exasperated look. What? You're saying I can't do it? Godly King Guyu was furious that he was looked down upon by this little bastard. Well, you can't kill him. Let me deal with him, Yang Hongwu said. The ancient Yu Divine King was not an impulsive person. Although he was furious, he held it in. He looked at Yang Hongwu and laughed instead of being angry. All right, I'll let you do it. I'd like to see how you're going to kill that guy. If he used his greatest trump card, he had absolute confidence that he could kill the celestial wizard. However, that would consume too much energy. When the time came, whether or not he could leave was still a problem. If Yang Hongwu had a way to kill that heavenly wizard, that would be for the best. Yang Hongwu smiled and began to operate his cultivation method, paying a true body scripture. He channeled his cultivation technique to the maximum and walked step by step toward the celestial wizard. The heaven wizard suddenly felt a sense of terror. He felt extremely uneasy and shouted, "Stop him! Stop that young man!" When the other sorcerer tribesmen heard this, they found it strange. This young man was not strong at all, so why was he so anxious? However, although they found it strange, they did not slow down. One by one, they quickly surrounded Yang Hongwu, wanting to stop Yang Hongwu and kill him. Divine King Guyu stopped them. Yang Hongwu said, "There's no time. Stop him quickly. Otherwise, the ritual will be completed soon." Yang Hongwu, who originally thought that there was still enough time, suddenly had a change of expression. The ritual that would have taken a long time to complete suddenly sped up. It turned out that the sorcerer tribe had already made preparations before this. During the great battle, the sorcerer tribe had already accumulated a large amount of essence blood and souls. At this moment, the sorcerer tribe released the essence blood and souls. Therefore, they were only a little bit away from completing the ritual. All right, seeing how anxious Yang Hongwu was, the ancient Yu Divine King also realized that something was wrong. The ritual sped up, and a terrifying force was released from the formation. The entire ancestral Magi Palace was shrouded in a mysterious aura. Whoosh! The ancient Yu Divine King grabbed at the Sorcerer Tribe members who wanted to stop Yang Hongwu. There was no way to deal with the Heaven Sorcerer, but these Sorcerer Tribe members did not have the power to stop the ancient Yu Divine King. The reason why the Heaven Sorcerer was able to fight evenly with the ancient Yu Divine King was that he had borrowed the power of the 12 Heavenly Capital Formation. With the help of the ancient Yu Divine King, Yang Hongwu quickly appeared beside the Heaven Sorcerer. He reached out his hand and grabbed at the Heaven Sorcerer. Die! The Heaven Sorcerer stretched out a finger again. His power exploded and condensed into a thin line, wanting to kill Yang Hongwu. However, a vortex appeared on Yang Hongwu's hand and swallowed the sorcerer power. What's going on? The Heaven Sorcerer shouted. Impossible. Yang Hongwu was not injured at all and had swallowed the Heaven Sorcerer's attack. Even a cultivator at the peak of the Great Saint Realm could not do this. What was the background of this young man? Quick, activate the formation and stop this young man. All of you, stop him. The Heaven Sorcerer noticed Yang Hongwu's uniqueness and shouted. The sacrifice had reached the most critical moment. If it was destroyed, then everything they had done before would be for naught. This was something he did not want to see. This was the hope for the Sorcerer Tribe to rise again. He summoned the Ancestor Sorcerer. Once the Ancestor Sorcerer of the Sorcerer Tribe appeared, then the Sorcerer Tribe could rise again. The Ancestor Sorcerer was extremely powerful and domineering. He was equivalent to the great emperor of the human tribe cultivators. Back then, if the Ancestor Sorcerer had not cut open the space and entered a higher world, the Sorcerer world would not have fallen to such a state. Humph! Yang Hongwu snorted. He had just found out that this formation was extremely helpful to the Panga True Body scripture that he cultivated. This was the purest form of sorcerer power, or rather, the power of Pangu. This power was a great supplement to the Panga True Body. After absorbing this power, his cultivation would be twice the result with half the effort. Therefore, when Yang Hongwu activated the Panga True Body scripture to the extreme, a vortex formed around him like a small black hole, crazily swallowing the surrounding spiritual chi. The spiritual chi of the 12 celestial capital formation was rapidly being absorbed. Oh no, the Heaven Sorcerer was anxious. What kind of cultivation technique did this guy cultivate to be able to absorb the spiritual chi of the 12 celestial capital formation so crazily? If the 12 celestial capital formation's power was completely absorbed, all the sorcerer tribesmen who presided over the formation would die from exhaustion. This would definitely be a great loss to the sorcerer tribe. Of course, if he could summon the Ancestor Sorcerer, it would all be worth it. Chapter 738. Xian Ming Boom. Although Yang Hongwu had swallowed that power, he had also received a huge impact, and his entire body had been sent flying. At this moment, a huge whirlpool appeared in the void. It was a terrifying rune. The mysterious rune formed a huge formation. *M in it, it failed. Yang Hongwu's expression changed drastically. Even though he had broken the formation and several great shamans and heaven shamans who were in charge of the 12 heavenly capital formation had died, the sacrificial ceremony had succeeded. In the end, he was one step too late. Not good. Deity King Guyu's face changed. He had not expected things to turn out this way. A terrifying aura appeared. It was the aura of the wizard ancestor. A towering figure emerged from the void. Sorcerer! 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 All the sorcerer tribesmen shouted. Their faces were filled with respect. The wizard ancestor was the supreme existence of the sorcerer tribe. He was their belief and their root. Now that the wizard ancestor had appeared, how could they not be happy about it? The appearance of the wizard ancestor meant that the sorcerer tribe was going to rise again. As long as the wizard ancestor was there, the sorcerer world would rise again. No one in the ancient region would be able to stop them. In fact, the sorcerer tribe would rise rapidly in Jiuqian City. Yang Hongwu, what should we do now? At this moment, deity King Guyu held his daughter's hand and appeared in front of Yang Hongwu. His face was solemn. Now that the wizard ancestor had appeared, it was impossible for him to fight against the wizard ancestor. He looked at Yang Hongwu. This guy was full of tricks. He remembered that Yang Hongwu's void travel secret skill could leave this space. If he wanted to leave this place, he could only rely on Yang Hongwu. Only he could help him leave this place. Although it was depressing, there was no other way. The wizard ancestor was too powerful. He was a great emperor. Although he was a great saint, he still needed a long time to become a great emperor. He might not even be able to become a great emperor in his lifetime. There's no rush. Yang Hongwu's tone was very calm. He swallowed an elixir. He had just clashed with the heaven shaman and had expended a lot of energy. He was also injured. How can I not be anxious? Princess Guyu said, that's an ancestor sorcerer, which is equivalent to a great emperor. If you don't leave now, you won't be able to leave even if you want to. Only death awaits you. Don't worry. There's no need to worry at all. Yang Hongwu said, have you forgotten that I once said that I can leave this place? Moreover, I haven't achieved my goal yet. How can I give up so easily? Do you want to die? You are merely at the divine realm. What realm is the ancestor of sorcerer? Can you resist him? An emperor realm expert only needs a thought to kill you. Princess Guyu shouted angrily, you want to die, but we don't. Send us out first, then come back and snatch Panga's heart. Ha! Yang Hongwu smiled faintly. No matter if the ancestor of sorcerer is resurrected or summoned, that ancestor of sorcerer definitely won't be at his peak state. Therefore, we still have a chance. Moreover, I have expended a lot of energy just now. I won't be able to teleport away for a while. In fact, if he really wanted to teleport away, he could still do it. However, once he teleported away, he would expend a lot of energy. However, it was different for deity King Guyu and the others. By then, wouldn't he be like a lamb in a tiger's mouth, falling into the hands of deity King Guyu? This was also what Yang Hongwu was thinking about. Therefore, there wasn't much difference between leaving and staying here. Moreover, he had cultivated the Pangu true body technique and obtained the true inheritance of Pangu. Even if the ancestor of sorcerer appeared, he wouldn't be able to resist his strength. That ancestor of sorcerer might not kill him and might even nurture him. After all, for countless years, no one had been able to cultivate the Panga true body technique. Only he could. The Panga true body technique was the supreme technique of the entire sorcerer tribe. It was the technique of the great god Pangu. There must be a reason why the 12 ancestors of sorcerer left it in the quiescence hall and in their statues. It was to find a successor. Yang Hongwu thought to himself, this is so infuriating. Seeing Yang Hongwu's indifference, Princess Guyu became anxious. Deity King Guyu was also anxious and said, Yang Hongwu, what exactly do you want? At this moment, deity King Guyu had no choice but to lower his head. He was more powerful than Yang Hongwu, but he couldn't leave this place. Only Yang Hongwu could leave the ancestral sorcerer palace. It didn't matter if he died, but Princess Guyu couldn't die. He couldn't watch his daughter die. Back then, he had promised her mother that he would take good care of her. Wait, Yang Hongwu said. Don't be anxious. If it really doesn't work, I will leave. Deity King Guyu saw Yang Hongwu's expression and knew that it was impossible for him to leave now. He could only wait. Sorcerer, a huge word appeared in the void. A white-robed figure appeared and slowly solidified. It was hard to see the person's face clearly, but it was clear that it was a woman. Yang Hongwu took a deep breath. Among the 12 ancestors of sorcerer, only 2 were women. One was Hutu, and the other was Xianming. When this woman appeared, the temperature of the entire ancestral sorcerer palace dropped sharply. Yang Hongwu felt a bone-piercing chill. There was only one person who could feel the chill, and that was ancestor sorcerer Xianming. Only Xianming of the 12 ancestors of sorcerer had such a characteristic. If it was Hutu, her clothes would be light yellow instead of white. Her appearance wouldn't give off such a bone-piercing chill. Instead, It would make people feel as if they were bathing in a spring breeze. However, this kind of chill made Yang Hongwu feel inexplicably comfortable. The 9 turns of yin-yang harmony art in his body was operating crazily, absorbing this bone-piercing chill. At this time, Xianming also noticed Yang Hongwu. This person gave her a familiar feeling. She felt 2 special auras on him. One was the 9-dragon saint body, which was a pure yang saint body. It was very attractive to her and made her feel very close. The other was the aura of Pangu's real body. Because Yang Hongwu cultivated the Pangu real body technique, he naturally had the aura of Pangu's real body. These 2 points made Xianming have a very good impression of Yang Hongwu. The aura of Pangu's real body. Could this young man have cultivated the Pangu real body technique and obtained the inheritance of God Pangu in the ancestral sorcerer palace? She walked step by step toward Yang Hongwu. The others kept retreating. Chapter 739. Powerful Grand Sorcerer She was Xianming, one of the 2 females among the 12 Grand Sorcerers. She was the youngest among the 12 Grand Sorcerers, but she was powerful. Moreover, Yang Hongwu felt that Xianming had a pure, sacred body. In other words, she had a higher level of body constitution than a sacred body. Above a sacred body, there was an even more powerful ancestral body. Yang Hongwu had just found out that the 9-dragon sacred body was the most powerful sacred body. It was also the closest to an ancestral body. As for an ancestral body, Yang Hongwu had never seen one before. However, he was sure that an ancestral body was several times or even dozens of times stronger than a sacred body. Yang Hongwu looked at Xianming and squinted his eyes. Xianming was an ancestral sorcerer. She was undoubtedly powerful. Even though she was the youngest among the 12 Grand Sorcerers and was probably the weakest, she was still not to be underestimated. Ancient Yu Supreme being looked at Xianming with a grave expression and said to Yang Hongwu, "Let's go. Otherwise, it will be too late. The Grand Sorcerer is not someone we can deal with." When he saw Yang Hongwu staring at Xianming, he laughed bitterly in his heart. This Be-Astra-starred is still blinded by lust at this time. Is he looking for death? He flicked his finger, and it landed on Yang Hongwu. "What are you doing?" Although Yang Hongwu had his eyes on Xianming, he was still very sensitive to the attacks coming from all directions. Ancient Underworld Deity King was one of the targets that Yang Hongwu paid close attention to. He was worried that Ancient Underworld Deity King would attack him. However, when he saw that Ancient Yu Supreme Being's attack did not have any killing intent and seemed to be just a reminder, he did not take it to heart. However, he was still angry. "You are still blinded by lust at this time. Are you looking for death?" She is an ancestral sorcerer, the most powerful existence in the sorcerer tribe. She is equivalent to a great emperor expert. If you are interested in her, you are far from enough. Ancient Yu Supreme Being said, "The most important thing now is to leave this place. If we don't leave now, we won't be able to leave later. I don't want to die here." "Die." Yang Hongwu smiled faintly. "I am not going to die. I am confident." "What confidence do you have? If you can fight against the great emperor, why would you be chased by me like a stray dog?" Upon hearing this, Immortal King Guyu glared at him and said unhappily, "Hurry up. You promised us that you would send us away. You want to leave? Impossible." Ancestor Sorcerer Xianming spoke to Yang Hongwu. "Lord Ancestor of Sorcerer, we are from the ancient Nether clan. We came here to find him, not to attack the Sorcerer clan. So, I beg you to let us go." The ancient Yu Divine King's expression changed as he cursed in his heart. How could he be so unlucky? There were so many people around, and he had restrained his aura. He did not expect to be noticed. It was all Yang Hongwu's fault. If he had not been looking at Ancestral, which Xianming lecherously, she would not have noticed him. One had to know that when one's strength reached that level, she would be able to sense if anyone had any blasphemous thoughts towards her. "For the sake of the mysterious ancient Nether Maiden, I can let you go." To the ancient Yu Divine King's surprise, Xianming agreed to let them go. The ancient Yu Divine King was overjoyed. "Thank you, Senior. Thank you." He knew very well who the mysterious ancient Nether Maiden was. She was the most powerful person in the entire ancient Nether clan. However, she had broken the shackles a long time ago and left this world. He did not expect ancestor sorcerer Xianming to be related to the mysterious ancient Nether maiden. This surprised him. This time, if it were not for this relationship, he would not have been able to leave. Let's go. The ancient Yu divine king grabbed Yang Hongwu and pulled him and Princess Guyu away. You can leave, but he can't. Xianming waved his jade-like hand gently, and a force pushed the ancient Yu divine king's hand away from Yang Hongwu. The ancient Yu divine king trembled and took a few steps back. On the other hand, Yang Hongwu felt a huge force being released from Xianming's hand. It was as if he was grabbed by a huge hand. The ancient Yu divine king was shocked and said, "Senior, he is the key to our ancient Nether clan. He is the hope of our ancient Nether clan. Please let him go. Leave quickly. Otherwise, it will be too late when I change my mind." Xianming said, "But father, let's go. Let's go." Although Princess Guyu was unwilling, Xianming was too powerful. He was no match for her. Moreover, this bastard was too arrogant. He deserved to die. In fact, Princess Guyu did not want to see Yang Hongwu die. However, she had an inexplicable instinct that told her that Yang Hongwu would not die. Ancestor sorcerer Xianming would not kill him. Princess Guyu held the ancient Yu divine king's hand and rushed into the distance. Seeing the ancient Yu divine king leave, the ancient Yu divine king's powerful strength was exposed. His terrifying aura was not weaker than theirs. He was the one who had stopped the experts from his sorcerer tribe. Hence, seeing the ancient Yu divine king humbling himself and wanting to leave, they would not be so stupid to fight against an ancestor sorcerer. "Since you want to leave, you should stay." They wanted to leave, but Xianming would not let them go. The sorcerer tribe would not let them go either. The massacre had begun. Experts fell one after another. They died at the hands of the sorcerer tribe. As for the powerful ones, they died at the hands of Xianming. Every time she waved her hand, a cold air would shoot out. The cold air would turn them into ice and shatter them bit by bit. They would turn into the purest energy and be absorbed by Xianming. Yang Hongwu opened his mouth. So powerful. Xianming's strength was too terrifying. Was this the strength of a true great emperor? It wasn't that Yang Hongwu hadn't seen the great emperor before, but that wasn't the real body of the great emperor. It was just a clone or a thought. It could not be compared to Xianming. She was a true great emperor, and it was her real body that was here. Then, Yang Hongwu felt a flash in front of his eyes. He appeared in a special space. Xianming was in front of him. Ancestor sorcerer Xianming. Yang Hongwu's heart tightened. When he was caught by Xianming, he had not expected her to be so powerful. She was much more terrifying than he had imagined. If she wanted to kill him, she could really do it. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. He had been sitting in a well all day. He was too arrogant. He was probably the one who was arrogant. A true great emperor, even if her strength had not recovered, was not someone he could deal with. If his strength could reach the Sage Realm or the Great Sage Realm, he might have some hope. "Why did you catch me?" Yang Hongwu looked at her and asked. "Are you from the untainted three worlds?" Xianming looked at Yang Hongwu and asked. Untainted three worlds? Chapter 740. Xianming's condition. I didn't expect your physique to be so special. No wonder you could get the inheritance of the Pangu true body secret art, Xianming muttered after looking at Yang Hongwu for a while. Senior, why did you capture me? Yang Hongwu asked Xianming. Although this woman had a pure Yin physique, or even a pure Yin ancestral physique, if he could dual cultivate with her, his strength would definitely improve by leaps and bounds. He might even be able to directly enter the Sage Realm, and even the after effects of the 9 turns Yin-Yang harmony art would be eliminated immediately. However, the possibility of that happening was too small. If Xianming knew what he was thinking, he would have killed him. This is the sorcerer world. It's a world that the 12 of us spent a lot of effort to create. You appeared here and wanted to seize our sorcerer world. Tell me, why did I capture you? Xianming looked at Yang Hongwu and said, Ahem. Yang Hongwu was quite embarrassed. She was telling the truth. He was like a bandit who wanted to seize someone else's home. Speaking of which, it was really his fault. This, senior, there's no need to explain. Xianming looked at Yang Hongwu and said, since you've obtained the inheritance of Godfather Pangu and cultivated the Pangu real body secret art, you could be considered half of the shaman tribe. Moreover, we've been waiting for this day for a long time. A successor of God, Father Pangu. Tell me, precursor, what do you want me to do? Yang Hongwu looked at Xianming and found that she didn't have any murderous intent towards him. He exhaled in relief. Whether it was Xianming's identity, her strength, or her physique, Yang Hongwu didn't want to fight against Xianming. I want you to be the patriarch of the sorcerer tribe, Xianming said, looking at Yang Hongwu. What? Yang Hongwu was shocked and said loudly, precursor, what do you mean? I'm not from the sorcerer tribe. You want me to be the patriarch of the sorcerer tribe? The sorcerer tribe? You have cultivated the Pangu real body skill. In fact, your blood is purer than the ordinary sorcerer tribe. You should know that the entire untainted three realms is the blood of Pangu. You can cultivate the Pangu real body skill, and your soul comes from the untainted three realms. Your blood is the blood of Pangu, the blood of the sorcerer tribe, said Xianming. Ming, Xianming, Ming, Yang Hongwu said, says bloodline. Although his strength, the sorcerer tribe's power god tribe. You Ming use helps. Xianming smiled. Don't you want to refine Pangu's heart and become the master of the entire shaman world? Yang Hongwu took a deep breath and asked Xianming in disbelief, are you saying that if I become the clan leader of the sorcerer tribe, I can refine Panga's heart and obtain the entire sorcerer world? That's right. If you want to get Panga's heart and the entire sorcerer world, you have to become the clan leader of the sorcerer tribe. Otherwise, you won't be recognized. Xianming said, don't think of other ideas. If I don't agree, you can't get Pangu's heart. Then, Xianming waved his right hand and a huge heart floated up. It contained a terrifying power. It was Pangu's heart. This is Panga's heart. Unless you have the confidence to defeat me and snatch it from me, you won't be able to resist Panga's heart. Xianming smiled faintly. His smile was devastatingly beautiful. Even Yang Hongwu was stunned. So beautiful. After a while, Yang Hongwu came back to his senses. Seeing Xianming looking at her, she blushed. Unless you break through to the Great Emperor realm, you won't be able to defeat me. However, I don't know how long it will take for you to reach the Great Emperor realm. Xianming seemed to be able to see through Yang Hongwu's thoughts. This gaze made Yang Hongwu very uncomfortable. It was as if he had no secrets. Great Emperor. Was the gap between him and a Great Emperor so huge? Isn't there a senior in the sorcerer tribe now? Yang Hongwu thought for a while and looked at Xianming. Xianming was the ancestor of the sorcerer tribe. With her in charge of the sorcerer world, the sorcerer tribe would rise. Hence, Yang Hongwu was curious as to why Xianming wanted him to be the clan leader of the sorcerer tribe. I have other things to do, Xianming said. Moreover, I am a woman. The sorcerer tribe has other ancestor of the sorcerer tribe. If they all appear, the sorcerer tribe will become one of the most powerful forces in Jiutianshidi. Yang Hongwu said, do you still need me to lead the sorcerer tribe? It's not as simple as you think. If Jiutianshidi is so weak, the entire Jiutianshidi would have fallen into the Pangu tribe's sphere of influence. Xianming said, Jiutianshidi is actually a special plane. You're still too weak, so you don't know much about it. As for my 10 brothers, their strength is beyond this plane. Even if they can come back, it's just a doppelganger. It's not worth it. Then why did you come back? Yang Hongwu was stunned. He didn't expect Jiutianshidi to be more complicated than what he knew. The 12 ancestor of the sorcerer tribe didn't just fight with the demon tribe. They consumed a lot of their strength, and the evil demon tribe took advantage of that. My strength hasn't reached that level yet. I came back because there's an opportunity for me to break through in Jiutianshidi. Xianming looked at Yang Hongwu and said, in fact, she didn't say that the opportunity for her to break through was actually Yang Hongwu. Xianming also had a vague premonition. This premonition became stronger after seeing Yang Hongwu. You mean except for you, the other 11 ancestor of the sorcerer tribe went to a higher level? Yang Hongwu said. No. Xianming shook his head. Sister Hutu didn't go to a higher level. Goddess Hutu? Yang Hongwu was stunned. After Hutu turned into the 6 paths of reincarnation in the untainted 3 realms, she gained great merits. Although the merits couldn't be compared with the merits of Goddess Nviwa, they weren't far off. Although she didn't use the merits to prove her Tao, it wasn't far off. As long as she left the untainted 3 realms, it was only a matter of time before she became a saint or great emperor. It was estimated that Hutu was the most powerful one among the 12 ancestors of the sorcerer tribe. Even if the others worked together, they might not be her match. Xianming seemed to see through Yang Hongwu's thoughts and said, Sister Hutu is indeed the most powerful one among the 12 of us. However, because she turned into reincarnation, she was restricted by the heavenly way of the untainted 3 realms. Therefore, she hasn't left the untainted 3 realms yet. Goddess Hutu is still in the untainted 3 realms? Yang Hongwu asked in surprise. Yes, Xianming said. If I'm not wrong, Sister Hutu must have helped you to come here. Chapter 741. Change Heart. Yang Hongwu was curious as to why they had sent him here. Was it because of his special body constitution? Besides that, Yang Hongwu could not think of anything else. Of course, Yang Jiu had thought of something when he had arrived here. He guessed that Hutu had used a supreme power to send him here after he had entered the 6 paths of reincarnation. Senior, don't ask anymore. You're still too weak now. There are many things that you don't need to know. When you are strong enough, everything will be clear. Xianming seemed to know what Yang Hongwu was thinking. He interrupted him and said, If you want to get Pangu's heart and refine it, the only way is to agree to my condition and become the clan leader of the sorcerer tribe. All right, Yang Hongwu said, I agree. Great. Xianming's face was still calm, as if he had known that Yang Hongwu would agree to this. This is Panga's heart. Xianming raised his right hand slightly. The huge heart turned into a red light and entered Yang Hongwu's body. Yang Hongwu immediately felt a terrible pain coming from his heart. That huge heart had actually fused into his own heart. Change heart. Xianming formed a mysterious seal with his hands. Yang Hongwu felt that his heart was being pulled out. Change heart. It was a change of heart. No wonder it was so painful. He had dug out his own heart. At this moment, a bloody heart appeared in Xianming's hand. It was Yang Hongwu's original heart. Boom! The heart turned into a bloody mist and merged with Yang Hongwu's body again. It merged with Panga's heart. Panga's heart appeared at the original position of the heart and started to beat. Blood started to flow. Although Yang Hongwu's heart was in great pain, he realized that the current heart was more powerful than before. Every time it beat, it would burst out a majestic power. The power was constantly refining his body. Quickly run, Panga true body skill, Xianming shouted. Yang Hongwu obeyed and hurriedly operated his cultivation method. 1 cycle, 2 cycles. Soon, he entered the state of emptiness. Pangu's true body kept appearing, and its powerful strength tempered Yang Hongwu's body to the extreme. Yang Hongwu's cultivation was also constantly improving. It could be said that he was advancing by leaps and bounds. 6th level of the Divine Realm. 7th level of the Divine Realm. All of a sudden, he had reached the 7th level of the Divine Realm, and it was still rising. There was no sign of it stopping. Although Yang Hongwu wanted to raise his cultivation level quickly, he knew that it might not be a good thing to raise it too quickly. It was better to suppress his cultivation a little. The more solid and stable his foundation was, the more helpful it would be for his future. After reaching level 8 of the Divine Realm, Yang Hongwu suppressed his cultivation base back to level 7 of the Divine Realm. Xianming nodded when he saw Yang Hongwu suppressing his cultivation. Pangu's true body skill was based on the physical body. It cultivated a strong physical body. The stronger the physical body, the more terrifying the strength. When the physical body was strong to an unimaginable level, the physical body could be sanctified, which was the great emperor realm. Martial artists who sanctified their physical body were much stronger than ordinary martial artists. They could destroy the heavens and the earth with a raise of their hands. Only when the physical body was strong could it contain more strength. If the path of cultivation was compared to sailing on the sea, then the physical body was the ship in the sea. The stronger the ship, the more stable it was, and the bigger it was, the further it could travel in the sea. Xianming could see that Yang Hongwu already had his own inner world. Now that he had refined Pangu's heart, it was equivalent to refining the entire sorcerer world and becoming the owner of the sorcerer world. However, the sorcerer world was huge, and it was not something that he could refine with his current strength. When his strength was enough, he could refine the entire sorcerer world and make it his own world. At that time, he would merge it with his original inner world, and his cultivation would soar to the sky. He would truly step into the realm of a peak expert, standing at the pinnacle of Jiutian Shidi. After an unknown period of time, Yang Hongwu opened his eyes and sobered up. At this moment, he had undergone an earth-shaking change. His cultivation had risen to the 7th level of the divine realm. If he wanted to, he could even enter the 8th level of the divine realm at any time. In addition, the little devil world had more than doubled in size. His physical body was even stronger. Pangu's true body skill had been cultivated to the 2nd level. Of course, Yang Hongwu was not the only one who had benefited. Those who followed Yang Hongwu had also benefited a lot. Among them, Ying Xiaorui had benefited the most. Ying Xiaorui's cultivation had reached the honorable realm, and now she had reached the half-step saint realm. Compared to before, her strength had reached the sky in a single bound. Other than her, there was Xing Tian. Xing Tian's strength was originally very strong. He was a great sorcerer of the sorcerer tribe. Unfortunately, his physical body had been destroyed, and his strength had dropped to the heaven sorcerer realm. After Yang Hongwu had refined Pangu's heart, Xing Tian had also benefited greatly. Xing Tian's battle picture had been greatly improved. A drop of blood had condensed Xing Tian's physical body. This drop of blood had merged with Pangu's power, so the physical body that he had condensed was stronger than his original physical body. Although Xing Tian's strength had not fully recovered, he was about to reach the great sorcerer realm. Only Qi regretted it. If he had not been too ambitious and greedy, he would not have ended up like this. Yang Hongwu had not left him with any benefits. This made him very depressed. He regretted it, but it was useless. Yang Hongwu did not even care about him. "Thank you, senior." Yang Hongwu stood up and bowed to Xianming. "You don't have to be like this. If you really want to thank me, then let the sorcerer tribe become stronger as soon as possible. Let the sorcerer tribe regain its former glory in Jiutian Shidi," Xianming said. "I will definitely do what I have promised. Moreover, I can be said to be the Panga tribe. The sorcerer tribe is the same. In the future, we will definitely control Jiutian Shidi and make the Pangu tribe the strongest force in Jiutian Shidi." Yang Hongwu clenched his fist and said, "It's good to have confidence. However, you can't let your guard down. Jiutian Shidi is not that simple. I have said this before. In Jiutian Shidi, there are countless strong tribes. The evil demon tribe is actually a very weak tribe in Jiutian Shidi," Xianming said. Yang Hongwu opened his eyes wide. This news shocked him. The evil demon tribe was so strong, but it was only a weak tribe? "Senior, are you joking?" Yang Hongwu said. Chapter 742. The Demonic God Awakens. Boom. Suddenly, there was an earth-shattering sound, and a terrifying evil aura burst out. The entire sorcerer world was filled with this horrifying aura. Yang Hongwu's face fell. "Damn it, that bastard still hasn't given up." Xianming's face fell. "What's going on?" Yang Hongwu asked. "It's the bastard blood dragon." Xianming's face was solemn. Yang Hongwu heard that. Blood dragon? Was it referring to the blood dragon, great demonic god? The blood dragon, great demonic god's strength was terrifying. Ordinary people couldn't deal with him at all. A.O. Tianyi had racked his brains to come here and obtain the inheritance of the blood dragon, great demonic god. Yang Hongwu thought that the blood dragon, great demonic god, had died. He didn't expect that the bastard would come out to stir up trouble at this time. It was abominable. "Now, I need your help." Xianming looked at Yang Hongwu and said, "You have refined Pangu's heart and become the master of the sorcerer world. With you here, you can suppress that bastard to the greatest extent." Yang Hongwu nodded. No matter what, this was his territory. How could he allow others to lord over this place? The blood dragon, great demonic god, was a malignant tumor. If he couldn't get rid of him in his own world, it would be a huge blow to him. Don't worry, I have a way to deal with that bastard. Yang Hongwu still had a trump card. Not only did he cultivate the demon-killing finger, but he also had the demon hand. The power of the demon hand was extraordinary. Now, Yang Hongwu didn't have to worry about being possessed by the demon hand. He had refined Pangu's heart, and his strength had increased tremendously. Moreover, he had cultivated the Pangu true body skill. He was more proficient in controlling the demon hand. Very good. Let's go. Xianming knew that Yang Hongwu still had a lot of trump cards. After all, he was the person who was valued by the great god Pangu. How could it be so simple? If his constitution could be truly activated, his strength would become extremely terrifying, perhaps even surpassing the great god Pangu. Yang Hongwu felt his body move as he was enveloped by a powerful force and teleported away. Walking out of the ancestral Magi Palace, they arrived at a spacious area. In front of him was a massive sea of blood, and there was a massive demon dragon that was completely blood red. Its massive eyes were like massive lanterns, and they gave off an evil light. Was this guy the blood dragon great demon god? Yang Hongwu took a deep breath. His gaze was so evil that it could shake one's mind and cause evil thoughts to appear in one's mind. The blood dragon, demonic god, lived up to his name. Moreover, this guy's current strength was probably far from his peak. At most, he would only have 10% of his peak strength, or even less. From this, it could be seen how terrifying that guy was when he was at his strongest. Xianming looked at the blood dragon grand demonic celestial and condensed a long sword in his hand. His entire body seemed to have turned into a 10,000-year black ice. It was bone-piercing cold. Wherever he went, everything turned into ice. Xianming Qi revolved around his body. As an ancestor sorcerer, Xianming's strength was comparable to a great emperor. Although Xianming had not recovered to his peak, he was still very powerful. His every move had the power to destroy the heavens and earth. Ancestor sorcerer Xianming, this time I will kill you. The entire sorcerer world will be under my control. The blood dragon grand demonic celestial opened his mouth, and his loud voice was like thunder. Shameless boasting, Xianming said coldly. He waved the sword in his hand, and a terrifying Xianming sword Qi attacked the blood dragon grand demonic celestial. Boom! There was a loud explosion, and the sea of blood exploded, forming a powerful blood wall that blocked the terrifying attack. Is this all you've got? You're so weak. Xianming, if you were at your peak, I might be afraid. However, you're no match for me now. Surrender, and I will give you a quick death. The blood dragon grand demonic celestial shook his body, and a majestic blood Qi covered the entire area, forming a powerful realm. Yang Hongwu and Xianming were in the realm. Yang Hongwu felt an oppressive feeling. The blood in his body was churning as if it would burst out of his body at any time. It was not a good thing to continue like this. Even though I have not recovered, it is enough to deal with you. Xianming snorted coldly. Yang Hongwu felt a thought enter his mind. It was Xianming's voice. Yang Hongwu, you have to mobilize the power of the entire sorcerer world to suppress this beast. You are now the ruler of the sorcerer world. Although you are not powerful enough to control the entire sorcerer world, you can still mobilize the power of the sorcerer world with my power. This time, you have to destroy this beast completely. Xianming said, after killing this beast, you can absorb and refine his soul power. It will increase your strength tremendously. All right, Yang Hongwu nodded. He had a plan in his mind. At this moment, Yang Hongwu felt a majestic power pouring into his body. The entry of this power caused Yang Hongwu's strength to rise steadily. Divine Realm Level 8, Divine Realm Level 9, Peak Divine Realm. First step, Honorable Realm. Second step, Honorable Realm. He did not stop until he reached the great saint realm. The majestic power in his body went deep into the sea. It felt as if the entire world was under his control. At this moment, he was the sovereign ruler and everything was under his control. Yang Hongwu enjoyed this feeling very much. However, he knew that this was temporary. This power did not belong to him at all. It came from Xianming. After a while, this power would disappear. This powerful power gave Yang Hongwu great confidence. His control over the entire sorcerer world became closer. The entire sorcerer world was under his control. With a thought, he could mobilize the power of the entire sorcerer world. The Dharma of the sorcerer world was also under his control. All right, it's up to you now. Xianming's voice rang in Yang Hongwu's mind again. Don't worry. Yang Hongwu moved his mind and mobilized the power of the entire sorcerer world. It covered the sky and covered the earth, crushing towards the blood dragon grand demon. A huge eye formed in the void. This was the eye of the sorcerer world, which was similar to the eye of heaven's punishment in the macro world. In fact, it was the power of heaven's punishment in the sorcerer world. A huge power was gathering. When mobilizing this power, Yang Hongwu found that his body could not bear it anymore. It was as if it would break apart at any time. He knew that this was because the burden of the power was too great. His body was not strong enough and had reached its limit. Chapter 743. Wrath of the Blood Dragon, 9 Dragons, Saint Body, Open. Yang Hongwu did not hesitate to open his holy body. Only by opening his holy body could his body withstand more energy and control more power. Yang Hongwu's aura was already at the Great Sage level. After activating the 9 Dragons' saintly body at the Great Sage level, Yang Hongwu's strength had become even more terrifying and powerful. With just a wave of his hand, he could destroy the heavens and earth and destroy a world. Gigantic dragon soul rose around Yang Hongwu's body, forming a powerful phenomenon. 9 dragons danced together, their might dominating the world. Roar! The deafening roar shook everyone's mind. All right, Xianming nodded repeatedly when he saw this scene. Hurry up and use your power of laws to suppress the blood dragon. At this moment, the blood dragon grand demon god condensed a terrifying demonic blade. It was as if he was going to cut the entire sorcerer world into pieces. That immense murderous aura was shocking. Okay, Yang Hongwu nodded. With a single thought, the power of the laws of heaven and earth was mobilized, forming a massive force that crushed toward the blood dragon grand demon god. The eye of the witch realm emitted a dazzling light that turned into a huge bolt of lightning and blasted towards the blood dragon great demon lord. Boom! The terrifying and domineering impact of the power caused the heavens and earth to crumble. The huge sea of blood suddenly exploded, and the entire sky was dyed red by the blood. Damn it! The blood dragon, great demonic god, was infuriated. He had not expected that this young man would become so powerful all of a sudden and be able to control the power of heaven and earth. The laws of heaven and earth in the sorcerer world were all under his control. Although the blood dragon grand demon god was powerful, he was not at his peak. Moreover, he was restrained by Xianming. Xianming was the ancestor sorcerer of the sorcerer tribe, and he was very powerful. In addition, there was a little fellow beside him. He had used some kind of secret technique to increase his strength rapidly and control the power of heaven and earth in the shaman world. Could it be that this young man had already become the lord of the sorcerer world? Did he really become the master of the sorcerer world after controlling the core of the sorcerer world? Thinking of this, the blood dragon great demon god was even more enraged. The sorcerer world. He had been eyeing the sorcerer world for a long time. The reason why he had paid such a huge price to attack the sorcerer world was to obtain the core of the sorcerer world, which was Panga's heart. Once he refined Panga's heart, his strength would advance by leaps and bounds, breaking through that realm and entering a higher level. For this, he was willing to be sealed for so many years. However, he didn't expect that his efforts would still be in vain. Pangu's heart, which he had been dreaming of, was obtained by a little kid. The immense pressure made it impossible for the blood dragon grand demonic god to unleash his full strength. The terrifying attack from the sorcerer world's heavenly punishment had injured his blood dragon body. Xianming Qi, seal all things, Xianming shouted. She waved her hand, and a terrifying Xianming Qi flew out and covered the entire blood sea. That terrifying power carried a terrifying chill. Wherever it went, the Xianming Qi would be sealed. The blood dragon, great demonic god, was very powerful. Although his sea of blood was weaker than the sea of blood of the great desolate three realms, it was still very powerful. You can't seal me, the blood dragon, great demonic god shouted. Kid, you ruined my plan. You'll pay with your life. Yang Hongwu's body shook. He felt a terrifying spiritual sense rushing towards his sea of consciousness. Damn it, Yang Hongwu, be careful. This demon is going to attack with his spiritual sense. Xianming's face changed. Although Yang Hongwu's strength had increased, it was her strength after all. It wasn't Yang Hongwu's own strength. Now that the blood dragon great demonic god was going to attack with his spiritual sense, how could Yang Hongwu's spiritual sense be a match for him? It was too late for her to rescue him. This time, she could only place her hopes on Panga's heart. Although Panga's heart had merged with Yang Hongwu, it was still Panga's heart after all. Panga would still leave a trace of his spiritual sense. If that trace of spiritual sense were to attack, the blood dragon, great demonic god, wouldn't be a threat. However, whether this trace of spiritual sense was awakened or not was another question. Xianming's face fell. She couldn't help Yang Hongwu at all now. He could only rely on his own strength. If he couldn't defeat the blood dragon great demonic god, she could only destroy everything he had. No matter what, Panga's heart couldn't fall into the hands of the blood dragon, great demonic god. Great, no wonder you can refine Panga's heart. I didn't expect this kid to be so powerful. He has the legendary supreme physique. The blood dragon, great demonic god, was overjoyed when he entered Yang Hongwu's sea of consciousness. If he could successfully take over Yang Hongwu's body, not only would he be able to break through that realm, he might even enter the legendary realm and become a true supreme expert. Blood dragon, great demonic god, how dare you enter my sea of consciousness? Yang Hongwu looked at the blood-red dragon in his sea of consciousness, and his face fell. This was his territory. How dare this fella be so arrogant? Aha, kid, you should just merge with me and let me replace you. Then, you will be me and I will be you. We will truly stand at the peak of this world. No, the peak of the entire universe, the blood dragon great demonic god said. How arrogant. You want to devour me? Dream on. Yang Hongwu said, operating the refining spirit heart sutra to the extreme. The blood dragon great demonic god was just a spiritual sense body. It could be said that he was a spiritual sense body. Hence, the refining spirit heart sutra was more suitable to deal with this fella. Of course, Yang Hongwu wouldn't just use the refining spirit heart sutra's power. He also had the yin-yang 4 rotation, the yin-yang soul lock spell, and the demon-killing finger. The spiritual sense body could also use the demon-killing finger. The blood dragon great demonic god was a great demonic god. The demonic chi on his body was surging and rolling. The terrifying demonic chi seemed to be corroding Yang Hongwu's sea of consciousness, corroding his entire spiritual sense body. You've cultivated the refining spirit heart sutra? Seeing Yang Hongwu operating the refining spirit heart sutra, the blood dragon great demonic god was shocked. His body was shrouded in a layer of rainbow light, and his spiritual sense was extremely strong. The refinement god emperor had his own unique way of cultivating spiritual sense. Otherwise, he wouldn't have become the strongest great emperor in Jiotian City. If it was a one-on-one fight, the refinement god emperor's power would be stronger than the 12 ancestral witches. Of course, if the 12 ancestral witches were to team up, the refinement god emperor would definitely not be their match. Hence, the blood dragon, great demonic god's face changed when he saw Yang Hongwu using the refining spirit heart sutra. So what if it's the refining spirit heart sutra? You're too weak after all. You can't unleash the full power of the Refining Spirit Heart Sutra. If the Refinement God Emperor were to come personally, I might be afraid. But you? Chapter 744. Demon Heart, Demon Slaying Finger. Yang Hongwu let out a soft snort as he looked at the overwhelming number of demons rolling towards him. Surging magical powers gathered on his hand, forming a giant hand that appeared in the void. It emitted golden rays of light. These rays of light were divine light, demon extermination divine light. The giant hand extended a finger. Powerful energy gathered at the tip of the finger, and the light grew brighter. Bang! In that instant, the light shot out. Demon-slaying finger. It was as if it came from the void divine world and could destroy all demons. This is the power of demon extermination. Impossible. How can you possess such power? Sensing the terrifying power, the blood dragon great demonic god was terrified to the extreme. The power of demon slaying was the greatest nemesis of the demon clan. Blood dragon great demon god was also a member of the demon clan. He was powerful and one of the top experts of the demon clan. Of course, he recognized the power of demon slaying. Back then, the demon clan was so powerful. There were countless demons stronger than him. The strongest one was their ancestor demon god. His strength was on par with Pangu, the most revered figure of the sorcerer tribe. He was unbelievably strong. However, he had met a man who called himself incipient god. He had used only one finger to kill the ancestor of the devil clan. From then on, the strength of the demon clan fell. They were forced to leave their original great universe and appear in Jochin City. To them, the 9 heavens 10 earths was, in fact, an abandoned land. It was the most barren place in the entire vast void. And this guy actually had the power of that guy and cultivated his finger technique. How could Blood Dragon Great Demon God not be shocked? There were not many people in the demon clan who knew about this. He was one of them. Without high status and strength, he was not qualified to know about this. Therefore, in the entire demon clan, only the great emperors knew about the power of demon slaying. Although he was shocked, he had no way out. Demonic finger? So what? You're still too weak. You're no match for me. I will definitely devour you. The blood dragon great demonic god was furious. If he could swallow Yang Hongwu and get his body and his memories, he could cultivate the demon exterminating finger. At that time, when he had reached that level, he could find incipient god, and kill him to take revenge for the entire demon clan. The blood dragon grand demon god's surging power swept up, forming a huge demon god. Its face was ferocious, and it held a huge, bloodthirsty demon blade in its hand. This phantom was the first ancestor of the fiend race, the great demon god. He was the one who had been killed by incipient god one. When this figure appeared, Yang Hongwu's expression became very serious. The strength of this fella was something that Lin Fan would find hard to deal with. Lin Fan's eyes flashed with a glint. At this moment, the power of the devil-extinguishing finger had already killed all of the demons. The golden finger did not dissipate. Instead, it continued to rush toward the terrifying demon. The demon-killing finger was used again. Yang Hongwu realized that he had consumed a lot of energy. It wasn't a good thing to continue like this. Although his strength had increased with the help of Xian Ming's energy, his soul consciousness and mental energy were still the same as before. His mental energy was many times stronger than an ordinary person's, but compared to this ancient demon, it was still much weaker. Yin Yang's soul lock spell. Yang Hongwu chanted one incantation after another. At the same time, he formed hand seals with both hands. Runes and curses fused together. The energy of the little devil world in his body was drawn out. Yang Hongwu's body trembled. Something floated out of his god dwellings. What's this? Yang Hongwu was overjoyed. He had never thought that the inconspicuous thing he had obtained before could replenish his mental energy. Recuperate bead. It's the recuperate bead. Bauer's voice echoed in Yang Hongwu's head. Bauer woke up. With the infusion of Xian Ming's energy, Bauer's strength had recovered a lot. At this moment, the recuperate bead appeared. Bauer woke up. The recuperate bead? Yes, the recuperate bead can store mental energy and spirit energy to nourish one's spirit, Scherbauer said. I didn't expect you to get such a great benefit. Scherbauer, do you have a way to deal with that guy now? The blood dragon, great demonic god's valiance, exceeded Yang Hongwu's expectations. The terrifying demonic god phantom that appeared swung its blade. A black light flashed and shattered the golden finger of the demon-killing finger. The powerful impact also caused Yang Hongwu to suffer a backlash. His body shook and he spat out a mouthful of blood. Seeing Yang Hongwu spit out blood and his face turn pale, Xianming was very anxious. What a powerful force. That's the blood dragon, great demon. I didn't expect him to wake up. Scherbauer was also shocked. He knew that the blood dragon, great demon, had fallen, but now it seemed that he was still very powerful and difficult to deal with. Moreover, this guy was not at the peak. If he was at the peak, it would be impossible to deal with him. If it was before, I wouldn't be able to deal with him. But with the recuperate bead, it's different. It can provide a huge amount of mental energy. In this way, I can help you set up a soul-destroying formation, Scherbauer said. Soul-destroying formation? Yang Hongwu had heard of this formation. It was a formation that had been lost in antiquity times. It was very powerful and specialized in destroying the divine soul. Even if a great emperor was trapped in it, he would die. There was no way to escape. However, it was not easy to set up the soul destruction formation. It required the right time, the right place, and the right people. Moreover, the strength of the person who set up the formation had to reach the great emperor realm, and his attainments in the field of formation had to be at least at the level of an 11th grade array master. Yang Hongwu was only a 7th grade array master. There was a long way to go before he became an 11th grade array master. How could he make up for the gap of 4 grades in a short time? Even if he had a secret method, he couldn't do it. Yes, the soul-destroying formation. Your strength is not enough now, so you can use the recuperate bead to make up for it. Setting up a soul-destroying formation requires a huge amount of mental energy. You couldn't do it before, but with the recuperate bead's continuous supply of energy, you can barely set it up, Scherbauer said. Of course, you will need a helper during the process. You need a helper? Yes, a helper with strong mental energy. Scherbauer said. That helper's strength must be above the great saint realm. Fortunately, there is one in front of you. You mean ancestor sorcerer Xianming. Chapter 745. Blood Soul Worm, Senior Xianming. I have a formation that can kill this beast. Yang Hongwu communicated with Xianming and said, however, I need your help. What formation? What do you want me to do? Xianming asked. Being able to kill the blood dragon, great demonic god, was naturally what Xianming wished for. He had thought that Yang Hongwu would not be able to resist the blood dragon grand demon. He had not expected that Yang Hongwu would be so powerful that he could block the blood dragon grand demon. His spiritual power had become stronger again. If there was a formation that could kill the blood dragon great demon god, that would be the best. This formation is called the soul extinguishing formation. However, I can't set it up alone. I need the help of a great sage realm expert. Senior, you are an ancestor sorcerer, and your strength is greater than a great sage realm expert. There should be no problem for you to set up this formation. Yang Hongwu said. Soul extinguishing formation? Xianming was shocked. He had not expected that it was this formation. The soul extinguishing formation was not a simple formation. Even a rank 12 array master might not be able to set it up. Yes. Are you confident? The soul extinguishing formation is not an ordinary formation. It is very powerful and difficult to set it up. Only a rank 12 array master has enough confidence to set it up. Xianming asked. Don't worry. I am confident. Yang Hongwu's tone revealed his confidence. Since you said so, I will believe you. Xianming said. What do you want me to do now? Yang Hongwu's mind flickered as he told Xianming the method. After getting the method, Xianming's mind entered Yang Hongwu's sea of consciousness. There was a fluctuation, and the blood dragon grand demon found that Xianming had also entered Yang Hongwu's sea of consciousness. He laughed wildly. Xianming, you are digging your own grave. The sorcerer tribe has a strong physical body, but you don't cultivate your primordial spirit. How dare you enter my sea of consciousness and fight with me? The blood dragon was not afraid when he saw Xianming. Instead, he was excited. It's too early for you to be happy. Xianming snorted. A majestic power poured into Yang Hongwu's body. The majestic mind power caused the power of Yang Hongwu's primordial spirit to increase explosively once again. At this moment, Panga's heart was beating wildly as well. Waves of energy merged into Yang Hongwu's body, making his physical body even stronger. His mental strength had reached its peak. Yang Hongwu's hands quickly formed hand seals, and mysterious runes appeared one after another. Sherbauer, who was in Yang Hongwu's divine palace, also appeared. With a wave of his jade-like hand, a huge array disc appeared in the void. Well, what kind of power is this? Sensing the immense threat, the blood dragon great demon god's expression changed drastically. That disc array made him feel like his life was in danger. Soul Annihilation Array? How did you set up the Soul Annihilation Array? The Soul Annihilation Array was extremely terrifying. It was absolutely impossible for ordinary array masters to set it up. Yang Hongwu was just a puny human being. His strength was only at the divine realm. He had used a secret technique to increase his cultivation. However, he could not believe that he could set up this soul-extinguishing array. This woman, he saw Sherbauer. Since Yang Hongwu could not set up the trap, it must have been Sherbauer. Even he could not tell her background. Damn it, you want to use the Soul Annihilation Array to deal with me? You must be dreaming. The blood dragon, great demon god roared. A terrifying blood-red force turned into a blood-red thunderbolt and bombarded Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu was the weakest. Even though this was a sea of consciousness, he was still far from being able to defeat the blood dragon great demon god. The blood-red thunderbolt was extremely powerful. It was like a blood-red light. In the blink of an eye, it appeared in front of Yang Hongwu. Humph! Yang Hongwu snorted coldly. This was his sea of consciousness. If he could not block this attack, it would be too shameful. Pangu's real body. Yang Hongwu shouted softly. His whole body exuded an ancient aura. A golden light formed around Yang Hongwu and enveloped him. Yin Yang 4 transformations, Yin Yang Palm. Both of his hands formed a series of hand seals, which were like huge mountains, and bombarded the bloody light. He was multitasking. While resisting the blood dragon great demon god's attack, he had already set up the array. Xianming was very powerful. As an important means of attack and the source of power of the array, he was very important. On the contrary, Yang Hongwu became insignificant. At this moment, the person in charge of the array was not Yang Hongwu, but Sherbauer. Yang Hongwu was only attracting the blood dragon great demon god's attention. Soul Annihilation Array rise. Sherbauer hollered. A large array instantly rose in Yang Hongwu's sea of consciousness. It enveloped the blood dragon, great demon god. Damn it! His attack was shattered by Yang Hongwu's huge handprint. He was shocked. He did not expect Yang Hongwu to be so powerful. Although Luo Binghe's mind power was much weaker than his, its power was not to be underestimated. Damn it! If it weren't for the fact that I can't use my cultivation, I would have shattered your sea of consciousness with one blow. The blood dragon great demon god was very regretful. However, do you really think that I, the blood dragon great demon god, am only capable of this? You're too naive. The blood dragon great demonic lord had transformed from a blood dragon into a handsome young man. He looked at Yang Hongwu, Xianming, and the others with a cold smile. It was as if the Soul Annihilation Array was nothing to him. The blood dragon great demon god waved his right hand, and something appeared. Yang Hongwu felt a wave in his sea of consciousness. He had a bad premonition. Blood soul worm. It's a blood soul worm. Sherbauer's face changed when he saw the red light. What's a blood soul worm? Yang Hongwu had never heard of it. However, when he saw how nervous Sherbauer was, he knew that it was not a good thing. It would probably be difficult to deal with. I didn't expect someone to recognize the blood soul worm. The blood dragon great demon god sneered. Today, all of you will become nourishment for the blood soul worm. The blood dragon, great demon god, waved his hand, and the red light shot toward Yang Hongwu like a bullet. It was extremely fast. Damn it! Water Flame Lotus, block it for me. The power of Yin and Yang revolved and formed a defensive shield to block the attack of the blood soul worm. However, to Yang Hongwu's surprise, the defense of the Water Flame Lotus had no effect on the blood soul worm. It penetrated the shield in an instant. It won't work. Unless you have the 9 Suns soul-extinguishing fire, you won't be able to block the blood soul worm. Xianming was an ancestor sorcerer. Of course, he knew how terrifying the blood soul worm was. Yang Hongwu, you can only deal with the blood soul worm by activating the Pangu's heart's Panga divine consciousness. Chapter 746. The might of the soul-extinguishing array. I don't know. The only one who can save you now is yourself, Xianming said. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly as he looked at the blood soul worms that were rushing towards him. There was no way to activate Pangu's divine sense. Moreover, he did not have enough time to study it. As for the 9 Suns' soul-extinguishing fire, he did not know what was going on. So what should he do now? Taking a deep breath, Yang Hongwu waved his hand, and a huge pagoda enveloped him. This was the Clear Sky Pagoda. Now, he could only hope that the Clear Sky Pagoda could stop the blood soul worms. If the Clear Sky Pagoda could not stop them, then he did not know what to do. Ding ding. The blood soul worms rushed towards the Clear Sky Pagoda and made clanking sounds. There was no way for them to enter the pagoda. This situation made Yang Hongwu heave a sigh of relief. The Clear Sky Pagoda was unexpectedly powerful. However, the problem now was how to destroy the blood soul worms. Humph, you can block it, but can Xianming block it? Xianming sneered. Seeing this, Yang Hongwu's expression changed. Indeed, although the Clear Sky Pagoda could block the blood soul worms, the worm's target had changed. They were not targeting Yang Hongwu, but Xianming. Demon Extinguishing Finger. Yang Hongwu snorted and condensed his strength. A finger appeared in the void. This was Yang Hongwu's sea of consciousness. The power of this finger was even more terrifying than before. Boom! The golden light bombarded the blood soul worms, and they were sent flying. However, they did not suffer any serious injuries. Soul Extinguishing Array, destroy it. Yang Hongwu activated the Soul Extinguishing Array while the blood soul worms were sent flying. The blood soul worms were controlled by the Blood Dragon Grand Demon. As long as the Blood Dragon Grand Demon was killed, the blood soul worms would no longer be controlled. Then, it would be much easier to deal with them. Damn it! The Blood Dragon, great demonic god, felt an immense power grinding away at his soul. The intense pain caused him to scream. This was the Soul Extinguishing Array. The excruciating pain of exterminating one's soul was not something that an ordinary person could withstand. Even an expert as powerful as a great emperor could not withstand it. Boom! Yang Hongwu roared and increased his power. Regardless of the blood soul worm's attack, the blood dragon's soul was completely destroyed by the Soul Extinguishing Array. After a shrill scream, the blood dragon's soul turned into the purest energy. What pure energy? It's a pity that it contains an evil energy. When she saw the blood dragon grand demonic god being killed, she was somewhat tempted by the energy. However, when she discovered the evil energy contained within it, she gave up. Once this evil energy was devoured, it would cause her to become a demon and fall into the path of evil. This was what Xianming was worried about. Not good. That's the power of the curse. Without control, the blood soul worm stopped moving. Yang Hongwu's spiritual consciousness rushed into the blood soul worm's body in an attempt to control it. However, to Yang Hongwu's surprise, the blood soul worm exploded before Yang Hongwu's spiritual consciousness could enter its body. It turned into a blood-colored energy that merged with the energy of the blood dragon great demonic god and formed a strange curse. Bauer's face fell when he saw the curse. What curse? Yang Hongwu asked hurriedly. Yang Hongwu had some understanding of the power of the curse. When he had been at the Yin-Yang 4 transformation realm, he had obtained a secret spiritual technique called the Yin-Yang soul locking curse. This was a curse. However, Although Yang Hongwu could use this curse, he did not know what it was all about. Yang Hongwu had tried many times to understand the yin-yang soul-locking curse, but had been unable to do so. It was only because of the power of yin and yang in his body that he could use the yin-yang soul-locking curse. As for what exactly was going on, he had no clue at all. The blood soul, life-death curse. Bauer's tone was unpleasant and his face was pale. What? Are you sure it's the blood soul, life-death curse? Xianming's face changed dramatically when he heard the name, as if he had heard something terrible. What's so powerful about the blood soul, life-death curse that you're so worried about? Yang Hongwu was too astonished. Is this curse so powerful that it can make Bauer and Xianming look so shocked? It's as if they've encountered something incredible. The blood soul life-death curse is extremely terrifying. Even a practitioner at the level of Pangu Great God could not resist it. Once you're hit by this curse, you'll live a life worse than death. There's no way to remove it, Xianming said. I didn't expect that bastard blood dragon great demon god to know this curse. That's right. Those who have been afflicted with this curse will suffer a fate worse than death. Even when they're conscious, they won't be able to control their physical body. They'll turn into a terrifying demon who only knows how to destroy. They can't be killed or destroyed, and they'll live forever, Bauer said. Yang Hongwu was stunned when he heard that and said, Immortal and indestructible? How's that possible? Even great emperors would die one day. How could they live forever? If they were really immortal, who would continue to cultivate in search of immortality? Wouldn't it be enough to study the blood soul life-death curse? You're conscious, but you can't control your body or soul. Is that what you want? Xianming said angrily. Moreover, you'll kill your family members, loved ones, and respected people for your own sake. No one can bear that kind of pain. The blood soul life-death curse isn't just that. The soul of the person who's hit by this curse will be in great pain all the time. It's as if he's on the verge of death, Bauer said. Really? Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. Living forever, but not being able to control one's body and having one's soul in great pain all the time. Such a curse was really terrifying. It was really a life worse than death. I don't know whether it's true or not, but according to the records, this is what the blood soul life-death curse looks like, Xianming said. What should we do now? Looking at the strange curse taking shape, Yang Hongwu's expression kept changing. He had to stop this curse from taking shape. Otherwise, he would be doomed. We have to stop this curse from taking shape. Otherwise, once the curse takes shape, we'll be in trouble, Bauer said loudly. Demon-killing finger. Yang Hongwu's eyes lit up. He flicked his finger and a golden light shot out. He rushed towards the blood-red curse. Whoosh! Chapter 747. Sealing the curse, damn it. What should I do? Yang Hongwu's face fell. He had never imagined that the blood soul life-death curse would be so terrifying. His devil-slaying finger was supposed to be able to suppress and weaken the power of wretched devils. However, he had never imagined that it would be completely ineffective against this curse. Seal. Find a way to seal this curse, Bauer said. Bauer, he said, given your current strength, it's impossible for you to get rid of the curse. The only thing you can do is to seal it and get rid of it when you're strong enough. How can I seal it? Yang Hongwu asked loudly. There was no way to seal it. He did not have any secret method to do so. There's a way. Bauer thought for a while and said, Your 9 transformation yin-yang harmony art can do it, but you need someone to cooperate with you. How? You need to break through the 6 transformation of the 9 transformation yin-yang harmony art, Bauer said. 6 transformation yin-yang harmony art. Yang Jiu smiled bitterly. Where could he find someone to dual cultivate with? Could he find Xianming? That was impossible. There's someone, Bauer said. Princess Guyu is still here. Yang Hongwu thought and realized that Princess Guyu had not left the Death Mountain. She was just at the periphery of the sorcerer world. She was probably waiting for Yang Hongwu. There was still a glimmer of hope for Yang Hongwu. After all, Yang Hongwu was very important to the ancient Nether clan. Xianming and I will help you resist this curse. But we don't have much time. We can only hold on for 30 breaths at most, Bauer said. Hearing this, young Hongwu smiled bitterly. 30 breaths? How was that possible? He was not a fast shooter. Even if he was, he could not be that fast. It would take time to move Princess Guyu here. That's your problem, Sure Bauer said. Is there no other way? Yang Hongwu said again. What a joke. Even if he wanted to, Princess Guyu might not be willing. Unless you're willing to live a life worse than death, Sure Bauer said. All right, I'll do my best. Yang Hongwu took a deep breath, and with a thought, he connected to the passage of the entire sorcerer world. All of a sudden, a thought appeared at the Death Mountain. Yang Hongwu, I need your help. Yang Hongwu looked at Princess Guyu and Immortal King Guyu. If you are willing to go to my ancient Nether clan, we will help if we can. Of course, if you want us to deal with Ancestor Xianming, it is impossible. Our strength has not reached that level yet. Godly King Guyu knew very well that Ancestor Sorcerer Xianming's ability was equivalent to a great emperor. Even if he used all of the ancient Yu clan's trump cards, he might not be able to defeat Xianming. No need. Yang Hongwu shook his head and said, Now that I have obtained Pengu's heart, I have become the master of the sorcerer world. However, I have encountered a huge problem. If I can't deal with it, there will be great trouble. What trouble? A curse, a terrifying curse. It is a curse that the blood dragon, great demon god, cast with his own life. It is called the Blood Soul Life-Death Curse. Yang Hongwu said, I wonder if you have heard of it. Blood Soul Life-Death Curse? How is that possible? Godly King Guyu's expression changed. He had not expected such a terrifying curse to appear. You are under the curse? Impossible. If you were under the curse, you wouldn't be so clear-headed now. Godly King Guyu looked at Yang Hongwu and said, Could it be that Ancestor Sorcerer Xianming is under the curse? No, they are resisting the curse now, and I need you. To be exact, I need the princess's help. Yang Hongwu looked at Princess Guyu and said, If I am not wrong, you should have the pure Een sacred body. That's right. Godly King Guyu nodded. How do you want my daughter to help you? Father, why should we help him? Princess Guyu said, That is the Blood Soul Life-Death Curse. There is no way to break it. He will definitely die. Godly King Guyu smiled bitterly and said, Have you forgotten the prophecy of our ancient Nether clan? But Princess Guyu's face turned red when she heard that. She was unhappy. This guy did not care about her at first and did not care about her at all. He is your destined person and the future of our ancient Nether clan. Godly King Guyu said, Without him, our ancient Nether clan will be doomed eternally. Over the years, the prophecies of the ancient Nether clan had come true one after another. Therefore, no one in the ancient Nether clan dared to go against the prophecies. They believed in the prophecies without a doubt. Now that the final prophecy had come true, no one would think that the prophecy was false. Me? There is no time. Yang Hongwu said anxiously, Princess, I have offended you. With that, Yang Hongwu moved his mind, and the power of the sorcerer world was activated. It wrapped around Princess Guyu and pulled her into the sorcerer world. Ah! Princess Guyu screamed. She did not expect Yang Hongwu to do this. She was embarrassed and angry. This bastard pervert. Where's this place? Princess Guyu felt that she had entered a special space. Yang Hongwu heaved a sigh of relief. In fact, he knew that if Princess Guyu was not willing, he would not be able to pull her into his spiritual abode. This is my spiritual abode, Yang Hongwu said. How do you want me to help you? Princess Guyu took a deep breath and looked at Yang Hongwu. Princess, are you willing to marry me? Yang Hongwu had no choice. It was the first time he had treated a woman like this when he had no feelings for her. Of course, Yuji was an exception. Moreover, it was not Yang Hongwu who had taken the initiative. Princess Guyu was stunned. She did not expect Yang Hongwu to be so direct. What do you mean? I'm not ready. It's too late. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. Princess has a pure Een sacred body, and I have a pure Yang sacred body. Only when you and I combine can we seal the Blood Soul Life-Death Curse. If we don't seal the Blood Soul Life-Death Curse, I will suffer a fate worse than death, and you'll die here. Once he was hit by the Blood Soul Life-Death Curse, he would be in big trouble. He had already become the Lord of the Realmless, and had the terrifying power of the blood dragon, grand demonic god in his body. Coupled with the demon hand, no one in Jotian City would be able to control him. Chapter 748. Yin Yang 6 turns Yang Hongwu nodded. I swear that if I let you down, I'll die a horrible death and never be reincarnated. I believe you. Princess Guyu nodded seriously and looked at Yang Hongwu with tender eyes. She had a good impression of Yang Hongwu because of the attraction between the pure Yin Saint body and the pure Yang Saint body. She did that to Yang Hongwu to attract Yang Hongwu's attention. You're still in love. There's not much time left, a voice said. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. It was indeed not the right time to say anything. Let's start, Yang Hongwu said to Princess Guyu. Okay. Princess Guyu blushed and nodded. Yang Hongwu hugged Princess Guyu gently and kissed her seductive lips. After a while, their clothes flew out and the two figures intertwined. Waves of energy burst out. The pure Yang energy and the pure Yin energy formed a huge vortex. Yin and Yang intertwined, and the dragon and the phoenix were auspicious. Heavenly music sounded and seven-colored light shrouded the two of them. Yang Hongwu's aura kept rising. His cultivation reached the half-step honorable realm, the first honorable realm, and finally the fourth honorable realm. Although he did not reach the first level of the honorable realm, he was only one step away. More importantly, a huge amount of information appeared in Yang Hongwu's mind. Yin Yang 6 turns. Yin Yang Sky Sealing Talisman. It was a talisman, the Yin Yang Sky Sealing Talisman. It could even seal heaven and earth. It was so powerful and domineering. Yang Hongwu took a deep breath. With a thought, he appeared in his sea of consciousness. At this moment, Xian Ming, Shi Bauer, Lu Li, and the others were struggling to resist the Blood Soul Life-Death Curse. It had to be said that the Bloody Soul Life-Death Curse was too strong. It didn't weaken in the slightest. If Shi Bauer hadn't been a life gem and had a strong natural mystique, Yang Hongwu would have already been controlled by the curse. You're finally here. If you were any slower, we would have all died together. Shi Bauer and the others heaved a sigh of relief when they saw Yang Hongwu. Shi Bauer and Xian Ming were both very powerful. At their peak, they were both great emperors. They were much stronger than ordinary great emperors. Now, even with the two of them joining forces, they could only block the Blood Soul Life-Death Curse for a short period of time. It was clear how terrifying the Blood Soul Life-Death Curse was. 6 cycles of Yin Yang Heaven Sealing Talisman Seal. Yang Hongwu gathered the power of Yin and Yang in his hands, forming a huge talisman. This huge talisman was like a curtain that covered the sky, covering the entire world. Whoosh! A black and white light flashed and shrouded the blood-red curse. The blood-red curse struggled and swelled as if the talisman seal would explode at any time. Yang Hongwu's face turned pale when he was hit by the huge force. He had consumed a lot of energy. Although he had successfully broken through to the 6 cycles of Yin Yang after dual cultivating with Princess Guyu, his cultivation had also increased to the 4th step honorable realm. He was only 1 step away from the true honorable realm. His mind power had also improved tremendously. Compared to before, it was like heaven and earth. However, the Blood Soul Life-Death Curse was too terrifying. Even with the 6 cycles of Yin Yang Heaven Sealing Talisman, it couldn't completely seal it. It was still trying to break the seal. Yang Hongwu took a deep breath. He was afraid that this talisman seal would not be able to seal this damned curse for too long. Yang Hongwu estimated that with his current cultivation, he could seal the curse for a month at most. After a month, the Blood Soul Life-Death Curse would break the seal again. So, he had to truly break through into the Exalt realm within a month of time. When Shi Bauer, Xian Ming, and the others saw that the curse was sealed, they heaved a sigh of relief. Even though they were grand sorcerers and great emperors, they were still exhausted and had consumed a lot of energy. It's finally sealed. Yang Hongwu collapsed on the ground. He had consumed a lot of energy and didn't have any energy left. How's the situation? Xian Ming had the body of a grand sorcerer after all. Although he had consumed a lot of his mind power, he was much better than Yang Hongwu Lu Li, and the others. Bauer was a life gem, so he could recover quickly. It's not good. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. Although it's been sealed, it hasn't been sealed for long. With my current cultivation, it'll only last for a month at most. In other words, if I can't think of a solution within a month, or if I can't make another breakthrough in my strength, the curse will break through the seal again. At that time, it'll be even more terrifying. It's impossible to solve the problem within a month. Bauer shook his head. Unless you can break through to the Great Emperor realm within a month, then you might be able to eliminate it, but it's not realistic. Other people, even great emperors, couldn't eliminate the curse. However, Yang Hongwu could. If Yang Hongwu's cultivation reached the Great Emperor realm, his real fighting strength would be extremely terrifying, surpassing the limit of Zhou Tianshidi. Of course, if Yang Hongwu really reached the Great Emperor realm, he would be able to cultivate the Nine Suns' soul-extinguishing fire. It's impossible to break through to the Great Emperor realm within a month, but it's possible for you to reach the Honorable realm within a month. Xian Ming said, if you reach the Honorable realm, you might be able to increase the power of the seal, right? Yes. Yang Hongwu nodded. This was the truth. But if I break through too quickly, my brother's foundation will be unstable. Lu Li also recovered a little and said, it won't happen if your foundation is unstable. If it's someone else, such a problem might occur. However, your brother Yang Hongwu won't, Xian Ming said. He has refined Panga's heart and has an inner world in his body. It's impossible for such a situation to occur. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. How could there be such a benefit? It would be strange if his foundation wasn't unstable. Such a thing had happened before. He had almost suffered from qi deviation. Haha, don't worry. Bauer saw Yang Hongwu's worry and smiled. Nini and I are here. You won't suffer from qi deviation again. Are you kidding? Of course not. Bauer said. Then why did I almost suffer from qi deviation before? Yang Hongwu asked. I did that on purpose. If your cultivation goes too smoothly without any setbacks, it won't be beneficial to your future cultivation. However, we're at a critical juncture now. We'll naturally help you, Bauer said. Chapter 749. Tai Universe Mirror. After dealing with the blood-soul life-death curse, Yang Hongwu appeared in his spiritual abode. Looking at Princess Guyu, who was still in a deep sleep, Yang Hongwu felt pity for her. If it wasn't for her, he might have become a demon who only knew how to kill. You're awake. Seeing Princess Guyu's eyebrows move, Yang Hongwu knew that she had woken up. He was happy and asked gently, Princess Guyu, who had just woken up, frowned and cried out softly. What's wrong? Yang Hongwu asked hurriedly. It's all your fault. Princess Guyu blushed and pouted. Princess Guyu wasn't as fierce as before. She looked like a little girl now. I'm sorry, Princess. I was too rude. Yang Hongwu chuckled. It's good that you know. Don't call me Princess. Call me Yue. That's what father calls me. Princess Guyu said. Yang Hongwu nodded. By the way, husband, is the crisis over? How's the blood-soul, life-death curse? This was what Princess Guyu was concerned about. Yang Hongwu said, You don't have to worry about that. I've already sealed that damn curse. However, there's no way to remove it completely. It's still a problem. Strength. At the end of the day, he was still too weak. If he had the cultivation of a great sage, he wouldn't have to worry about the blood-soul life-death curse. When he reached the Great Emperor realm, he would be able to remove the blood-soul life-death curse completely. However, he didn't know how long it would take to reach the Great Emperor realm. That's good. Princess Guyu was happy. All right, let's go see father-in-law. Yang Hongwu hugged Princess Guyu. After all, he had already gotten his daughter. It wouldn't be right if he didn't go out to see her. With that, Yang Hongwu found immortal King Guyu. In the next moment, he and Princess Guyu appeared beside him. Are you all right? Seeing how Yang Hongwu was carrying Princess Guyu, Deity King Guyu frowned slightly. After all, she was his daughter. Although he knew that this day would come one day, he still felt a sense of loss in his heart. The daughter that he had raised for so many years was about to be married off. In fact, Every man would have such a feeling of reluctance when their daughter was married off. Father, I'm fine. Your cultivation has increased. Deity King Guyu was surprised to find that his daughter's cultivation had improved by leaps and bounds. She had actually reached the saint realm. This speed of improvement was too fast. Amen. This is all thanks to his help, Princess Guyu said with a slightly red face. Good, very good. Ancient Nether Divine King nodded happily. This was enough to prove that Yang Hongwu was the person mentioned in the ancient Nether clan's prophecy. Yang Hongwu, when will you come with me to the ancient Nether clan to settle our matters? Also, you and Er's wedding should be held properly. Ancient Nether Divine King looked at Yang Hongwu and said. Yang Hongwu said, I will go, but I need to return to the Tianyi Immortal Mansion now. After all, the ranking battle of the 4 immortal mansions is about to begin. I need to enter the 5 extreme space. That's right. The ranking battle of the immortal mansions is in half a month. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It would be a pity to miss it. Ancient Nether Divine King nodded. He knew about the ranking battle of the 4 immortal mansions. Moreover, this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Moreover, there were countless treasures and opportunities in the 5 extreme space. With Yang Hongwu's luck, he would definitely obtain great opportunities. It would be a pity to miss it. Perhaps Yang Hongwu could obtain the greatest opportunity in the 5 extreme space and obtain the 5 elements inheritance. The 5 elements inheritance was the greatest opportunity in the entire 5 extreme space. For many years, no one had obtained it. According to rumors, once one obtained the 5 elements inheritance, one could obtain the 5 elements origin law and control the 5 elements origin of the entire 9 heavens 10 earths. Once one grasped the 5 elements origin of the 9 heavens 10 earths, one's strength would increase by leaps and bounds. Once one's strength reached a certain level, one could become the ruler of the entire 9 heavens 10 earths. Such a temptation was huge. However, for countless years, countless geniuses had emerged, but no one had obtained the 5 elements inheritance. In fact, they did not even obtain one of the 5 elements inheritance. Of course, there were also rumors that the 5 elements inheritance in the ancient domain's 5 extreme space was merely a test for the 5 elements inheritance. Once one passed the test, they would have the opportunity to become the true 5 elements inheritor. The true 5 elements inheritance was in the heaven domain. However, no one knew. Perhaps only the leaders of the 4 immortal mansions knew if this was the truth. It's not just about the 5 extreme space. It's also because of a great demon. Yang Hongwu said, that great demon is stronger than the blood dragon great demon. What's more frightening is that the great demon's clone has already appeared. It's the Tai Xianfu's Zetian. Yang Hongwu said, that Zetian's strength is extremely frightening. If he obtains great benefits in the 5 extreme space and his cultivation increases again, then it'll be troublesome. Zetian, great demon? Ancient Darkness God King was startled and said, isn't that Zetian the genius of a Z clan, someone that the Tai Xianfu's Z clan's ancestor thinks highly of? Yes, that's him. He's the clone of a great demon? How is that possible? If he's really a great demon, why didn't the Tai Xianfu discover it? Ancient Darkness God King was surprised and said, the Tai Xianfu's foundation isn't weak. Moreover, the Tai Xianfu's supreme treasure, the Tai Heaven and Earth Mirror, is an existence that can see through all evil. How could they not discover that Zetian is a great demon? Tai Heaven and Earth Mirror? Yang Hongwu had heard of this before. However, Yang Hongwu didn't know how powerful the Tai Heaven and Earth Mirror was. I don't know, but I'm sure that Zetian is a clone of that terrifying great demon. In fact, it's just a strand of divine consciousness. Once he recovers his memories, he'll be able to move unhindered in the ancient region. If he obtains the power of his true body, then he'll be even more terrifying. I reckon that no one in the entire 9 heavens and 10 earths will be a match for him. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. The stronger one was, the more one would know how powerful the great demon sealed by the soul-suppressing tablet in the Earth Spirit Palace was. The soul-suppressing tablet was a supreme treasure, an existence that surpassed treasures like the Pango Axe. The Pango Axe was a chaos spiritual treasure, and the soul-suppressing tablet was probably a chaos treasure. It could suppress all souls, even great emperors, and existences that surpassed great emperors. Once they were left with only their souls, they couldn't escape the reality of being suppressed. Chapter 750. Return. Tai E Heaven and Earth Mirror. Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes. This was an incredible treasure. However, the Tai E Heaven and Earth Mirror was not that simple. It was not something that anyone could control. After all, it was a supreme treasure. It must have its own weapon spirit. If the weapon spirit was not willing, no one could use the Tai E Heaven and Earth Mirror. Perhaps there was already a problem with the Tai E Heaven and Earth Mirror. 3 days later, Yang Hongwu returned to the Tianyi Immortal Mansion. Senior brother Yang, you're back. Seeing Yang Hongwu, Xiaomi was overjoyed. She quickly grabbed Yang Hongwu's hand and said, "Quick, go and save senior sister Yuji." "What's going on?" Yang Hongwu's face darkened. "It's the Tianyu emissary. He wants to take senior sister Yuji away." Little Miss Muddle said, "Master and Ancestor Tengaku were both injured by him. Where's the leader?" Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes. A cold light flashed in his eyes. "This damn Tianyu emissary. How dare he have designs on my woman?" "The leader, he went out to do something," Little Miss Muddle said. "Okay." Yang Hongwu used the Yin-Yang 5 transformation void travel and arrived at the Tianling Mountain in an instant. At this time, the Tianyu emissary was confronting Tengaku. Tengaku and Tian Jinyun were seriously injured. There was blood at the corner of their mouths. Their faces were pale. It was obvious that they were seriously injured. "You two, get out of my way. Otherwise, I won't be polite." The Tianyu emissary was furious. These two damn ants, how dare they block him? If it wasn't for the fact that he couldn't use his strongest cultivation here, these two guys wouldn't be his opponent at all. However, even so, it wasn't difficult to kill these two people. "Impossible, Lord Emissary. Aren't you afraid of the leader?" Tian Jinyun said. "Leader Tianyi, humph, he's a trash." The Tianyu emissary said coldly. "I must take this woman away. Anyone who stops me is going against the Tianyu realm. You better think carefully. When the time comes, you'll all die without a burial place." "So what if I die? Yuji is my sister-in-law. Tengaku will not sit idly by. If you want to take her away, you'll have to step over my dead body." Tengaku did not flinch at all. "Good, very good. Since you want to die, I will fulfill your wish." The emissary of Tianyu waved his hand, and a terrifying power condensed into a huge fist. The fist was like a vast mountain, and its terrifying aura could shatter everything. Boom! Although Tian Jinyun and Tengaku tried their best to block the attack, they were still unable to do so. The two of them were sent flying and crashed into a mountain. The entire mountain collapsed. "You overestimate yourself," the emissary sneered. He condensed his mana into a giant hand and tried to grab Yuji. Yang Hongwu's eyes flashed coldly. The emissary of Tianyu realm was really courting death. So what if he came from the Tianyi divine palace? He dared to attack his woman, so he must die. Yang Hongwu did not hesitate to use his strongest combat power. Battle Spirit Possession, activate. Golden Dragon Battle Body, activate. Mysterious Dragon 9 transformation, 6 transformation. He used all his strength. A terrifying aura shot up into the sky. A huge divine dragon appeared around him, forming a terrifying vision. The dragon roar resounded throughout the Tianyi divine palace. Yang Hongwu, "Husband, leave quickly." At this time, Yuji shouted. She was worried about Yang Hongwu. The emissary of Tianyu was too strong. Yang Hongwu was not a match for him. Appearing here was simply courting death. That was why Yuji shouted. "Big demon, don't worry. I will be fine after I take care of this beast." Yang Hongwu gave Yuji a smile. He did not put the emissary of Tianyu realm in his eyes. If it was before, Yang Hongwu would be afraid. But now he was not worried at all. He could see that the emissary of Tianyu realm was only at the peak of the Sage realm. He was not even at the Great Sage realm. A mere peak Sage realm brat dared to be so arrogant here. Even if he used all his strength, Yang Hongwu would not be worried. Not to mention, it was impossible for him to use all his strength in the ancient domain. At this time, he activated the battle spirit possession and used the 6th transformation of the mysterious dragon 9 transformation. His combat power was very shocking. Jingshun Finger, 1 finger to frighten ghosts and gods. The Jingshun Finger erupted. A huge finger appeared in the void. This Jingshun Finger's aura was shocking. With 1 finger, ghosts and gods would retreat. How could the emissary of Tianyu realm be compared to it? Damn it, what kind of secret technique is this? Looking at the terrifying finger, his heart trembled. He felt the threat of death. Impossible. I am the emissary of Tianyu realm. How could I be afraid of a mortal's attack? The emissary of Tianyu realm roared. This was a humiliation to him. A mortal could make him feel fear. This was unacceptable. He roared. He struck out with his palm. Giant spirit palm. Boundless spiritual power, vast like smoke, formed a huge god. It was the giant spirit god, an ancient god of war. It was incomparably powerful. With 1 strike, it could destroy heaven and earth. The reason why the emissary of the heavenly region was able to grow to such a level was because he had obtained the giant spirit palm. Although the giant spirit palm was only a single move, it allowed him to become one of the strongest in the saint realm. When he was only at the initial saint realm, he had killed many intermediate saint realm warriors with this single move. In the lower realm, he was even more confident. He was confident that under this gigantic spirit palm, everything was dregs. This damned mortal who dared to challenge his dignity would definitely be smashed into pieces and turned into a meat patty. Bang! The 2 terrifying forces clashed together. The giant palm was shattered, and the powerful finger power rushed into the emissary's body. The emissary was sent flying. Seeing this, all the disciples of Tianyi Immortal Mansion were stunned. That's Yang Hongwu. He's so terrifying and powerful. No wonder he could become the disciple of the leader. He's so terrifying. That's the emissary of Tianyu realm, a super expert from Tianyu realm. Even Tengaku was not his opponent, but he was defeated by Yang Hongwu in 1 move. Terrifying, really terrifying. A disciple shouted. Senior brother Yang is so powerful. He can easily defeat the emissary of Tianyu realm. This time, the 4 great immortal mansions ranking battle will definitely dominate the 5 extreme space. Tianyi Immortal Mansion is going to rise. Some elders saw this scene and were shocked. They were also very happy. Tianyi Immortal Mansion had such a monstrous genius. Wasn't this a sign that Tianyi Immortal Mansion was going to rise? Of course, some elders were terrified. They were on the emissary's side. Chapter 751. 10,000 kill needle. Damn it. Damn it. How dare you injure me? The emissary of the heavenly region crawled up. At this time, he was in a sorry state, like a beggar. This made him extremely angry. He was a dignified emissary of the heavenly region, but he was actually forced to such a state by an ant. This made him extremely embarrassed and made him extremely angry. His killing intent was boiling. I want you to die without a burial place. He roared. Ha! Emissary of the Tianyu realm? How dare you hurt my woman? You will die here today. Yang Hongwu's eyes shone with a cold light. He activated the vigor technique. His strength increased again. Every time the vigor technique leveled up, his strength would increase by several times. Now, Yang Hongwu not only leveled up the vigor technique, but also the Pangu true body technique. He was unbelievably strong. Even his physical body was strong enough to contend against a saint-level expert. How powerful was the Pangu true body technique? Of course, Yang Hongwu's most powerful killing move was the Yin Yang Seal Talisman. Unfortunately, he couldn't use it to seal the blood soul life death curse. Pangu split the sky. Yang Hongwu shouted and condensed a huge axe in his hands. It was the heaven punishing axe. As the master of Xingtian and the chief of the sorcerer tribe, Yang Hongwu now controlled the entire sorcerer world. Although he hadn't really received the recognition of all the sorcerer tribe, Xingtian had already recognized Yang Hongwu. Therefore, there was no problem for him to use the heaven punishing axe. Although the heaven-punishing axe wasn't the Pangu axe, it was still very powerful. This axe was condensed by Yang Hongwu with the power of Pangu. When he used the Pangu split the sky, it was as if the Pangu true body had descended. A huge shadow holding a huge axe with a terrifying aura appeared. This aura was incomparably sharp. It was the power of split the sky. Boom! With a loud sound, the huge axe cut through the void and chopped down. It was as though a bolt of lightning had split the entire void apart. There was no power that could stop this sharp axe. Damn it! The emissary of the Tianyu region sensed the terrifying energy. Of course, he knew Pangu's power and who Pangu was. That was a supreme expert. Even the strongest expert in the heaven region was no match for Pangu. Divine armor, block for me. With a roar, a golden armor appeared on his body. Numerous, powerful heavenly gods surrounded him to protect him. The golden light formed a huge defensive shield, protecting him within. At this moment, the huge axe chopped down on the defensive barrier. Crack! With a crisp sound, the defensive barrier was shattered. The powerful force hit the emissary of the Tianyu domain. Crack! With another sound, the heavenly region emissary let out a miserable shriek. One of his arms was chopped off by this terrifying power. His body was sent flying, and blood spurted out from his broken arm. My hand, my hand! Yang Hongwu looked at the emissary of the Tianyu region in surprise. As expected of someone from the heaven region, he was so tenacious that he couldn't be killed. His ability to resist attacks was indeed strong. Lin Fan took a deep breath. This guy must die. He had to kill him immediately. Otherwise, when his strength was exhausted and the time of the battle spirit possession was up, he wouldn't be able to kill this guy. At that time, he wouldn't be a match for him. Powerful, so powerful. I'm afraid that even the leader's strength can't compare to him. Seeing Yang Hongwu's power, everyone was shocked. Especially that axe. It was as if the world was split open. Yuji and the others looked at Yang Hongwu in a daze. They didn't expect that Yang Hongwu's strength had reached such a level. Heavenly Destruction Deity smiled bitterly. This brat was so weak in the past, but now he had become so terrifying. He could crush Yang Hongwu with one finger in the past, but now Yang Hongwu could crush him with one finger. The gap was too big, and it made Heavenly Destruction Deity feel ashamed. He was known as the #1 war god of the Tianyi Immortal Mansion. Now, he had to give up the title of the #1 war god. Senior brother Yang is so powerful, little Miss Muddle murmured. Her eyes were filled with admiration. Kid, you forced me to do this. The heavenly region emissary swallowed a pill. His right arm that was chopped off grew at a speed visible to the naked eye. Regeneration Golden Pill. Yang Hongwu's eyes were red. Only the legendary golden elixir of regeneration could make a severed limb grow back in such a short period of time. The Regeneration Golden Pill was a 10th grade pill. Although his alchemy level had reached the 8th grade, it was impossible for him to refine the Regeneration Golden Pill. Heaven Region was indeed Heaven Region. It was definitely not something Ancient Region could compare to. Oh no! Yang Hongwu suddenly felt uneasy. Bauer and Nini also warned him. The Heavenly Region emissary took out something. It was a cylindrical white object with many small holes on it. This is the 10,000 kill needle. Dodge it! Bao yelled at the sight of it. Go to hell! The Heavenly Region emissary roared. His face was ferocious. The cylindrical white object emitted a ray of light that made people unable to open their eyes. Yin Yang 5 transformation, Yin Yang Void Shuttle. Yang Hongwu did not hesitate to use the Void Shuttle. This was a life-and-death crisis. If he could not dodge it, he would definitely die. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The dense white light needles bombarded Yang Hongwu's position indiscriminately. However, at that moment, Yang Hongwu had already teleported away. That was so dangerous. Yang Hongwu secretly rejoiced. If it were not for the Yin Yang Void Shuttle, he would have been shot into a sieve. Oh no! Before Yang Hongwu could rejoice, he sensed danger again. These densely packed needles of light actually had the effect of tracking. The Heavenly Region emissary sneered. Can you escape? The 10,000 kill needle has the function of tracking. If you're locked on, you'll have to wait for the target to die, unless the energy of the needle is exhausted. Yang Hongwu did not expect the 10,000 kill needle to be so terrifying. Damn it, what should I do? Yang Hongwu teleported crazily, but the 10,000 kill needle was still chasing after him. If it were not for the powerful void shuttle, Yang Hongwu would have been killed. The 10,000 kill needle was a killing weapon, equivalent to a tracking missile. Moreover, it was more terrifying than a tracking missile. It was absolutely accurate and foolproof. If he had known this would happen, he would have launched a sneak attack and killed the damn Heavenly Region emissary. If he had launched a sneak attack, he would have killed the emissary directly. Chapter 752. The Stars Move. Sherbauer, do you have any ideas? Yang Hongwu asked Sherbauer for help as he fled. If this continued, he wouldn't have much time left. No, Sherbauer said. The 10,000 kill needles appeared later. I can't think of a way to deal with it in a short time. Master, I have some understanding of the 10,000 kill needles. Rumor has it that the 10,000 kill needles were created by the great emperor of heavenly craftsmanship. They're extremely powerful and even more terrifying than the Tang sect's torrential pear blossom torrential rain. The Tang sect was a powerful sect that was famous for its poison and hidden weapons. However, the Tang sect had been in seclusion for a long time. They no longer appeared in the ancient region. Although the Tang sect's torrential pear blossom torrential rain was terrifying, there was still a way to dodge it. However, the 10,000 kill needles were truly terrifying. They had the ability to lock onto a target. Once locked onto, there was no way to escape. Great Emperor of Heavenly Craftsmanship, Yang Hongwu was stunned. He didn't expect the 10,000 kill needles to be created by the great Emperor of Heavenly Craftsmanship. Yang Hongwu remembered that Little Miss Muddle was the great Emperor of Heavenly Craftsmanship's descendant. Perhaps she had a way to deal with the 10,000 kill needles. With a thought, Yang Hongwu communicated with Little Miss Muddle. Little Miss Muddle, do you know about the 10,000 kill needles? 10,000 kill needles? I know. They were created by my ancestor, Senior Brother Yang. It's recorded in the secret record of heavenly craftsmanship that you gave me. Little Miss Muddle said, Senior Brother, you have to be careful. While Yang Hongwu was distracted, he was about to be bombarded by the numerous needles. Yang Hongwu dodged the attack by a hair's breadth. This little bastard, let's see how much magic power he has to support his teleportation technique. The emissary sneered. Everyone was shocked when they saw Yang Hongwu dodge the needles. The weaker ones couldn't see clearly, and the stronger ones could only see a shadow. They only saw a white light chasing after a black shadow. Yang Hongwu was the black shadow that was shuttling back and forth. Is there a way to solve it? Yang Hongwu was overjoyed. He never thought that there would be such a powerful item in the Heavenly Works secret record that he obtained back then. Rebound. What? Senior Brother Yang, there is only one way to break the 10,000 killing needle, and that is to reflect it, Little Miss Muddle said. How are you going to bounce it back? Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. Bounce it back? Are you kidding me? Do you think you can bounce it back just like that? What could he use to reflect it? Yes, I only know of one method, and that is the secret technique, stellar transposition, said Little Miss Muddle. Stellar transposition. Yang Hongwu groaned inwardly. Was this the legendary stellar transposition that Murong Fu had practiced? This was simply nonsense. That was Jean Daxia's novel, all right? Yes. It was as good as not saying anything. Where was he going to find the shifting stars technique to learn it? Moreover, even if there was, it was impossible for him to learn it so quickly. Is there any other way? Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. However, there was no other way now. He could only let Little Miss Muddle think of a way. There is no other way. Could it be that the heavens want me to die here? Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. Suddenly, Yang Hongwu's eyes lit up. He could enter the small world. His own inner world, the small devil world. Once he entered it, the damn 10,000 kill needle wouldn't be able to chase after him, right? Moreover, once he entered the small devil world, there would be a way to deal with it. It was just a hidden weapon. Even if he couldn't block it in the small devil world, Wouldn't he be able to consume the energy contained in it? In the small devil world, he was the master and controlled everything. Enter. Yang Hongwu suddenly flashed into the small devil world. Sure enough, as Yang Hongwu expected, the 10,000 kill needle followed him in. This made Yang Hongwu very shocked. The 10,000 kill needle could actually travel through the void. The space barrier had no way to block it. However, after the 10,000 kill needle entered the small devil world, the energy contained in it weakened a lot. This made Yang Hongwu relieved. If it came a few more times, the 10,000 kill needle could be completely dealt with. Suppress. In his own territory, Yang Hongwu was constantly dodging and mobilizing the power of the heaven and earth law to suppress the 10,000 kill needle. Again and again, the energy of the 10,000 kill needle was gradually consumed. After dozens of times, the 10,000 kill needle finally fell down and exhausted its energy. Yang Hongwu was relieved. Looking at the light needles that fell on the ground and suddenly disappeared, he rejoiced. If he didn't cultivate the yin-yang fifth transformation, the yin-yang void shuttle secret technique, and if he didn't have an inner world, he would definitely die. If it was someone else, there was no way to stop it. The 10,000 kill needle was really terrifying. No, how is this possible? When Yang Hongwu came out of the small devil world, the heavenly region's messenger suddenly went crazy. He felt that the 10,000 kill needle had disappeared and Yang Hongwu had appeared in front of him. How could he believe it? Heavenly region's messenger, what other means do you have? Show me, I will take it. Yang Hongwu looked at the heavenly region's messenger and sneered. Shouted the emissary. Yang Hongwu thought that the emissary was going to go all out, but he didn't expect that the emissary would wave his right hand and a huge pillar of light appeared. This was the heaven regions, 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 heaven region. Tried to escape? Yang Hongwu's killing intent surged. Yang Hongwu knew that the emissary wanted to escape the moment he saw the light. But how could he let him do that? Demon hand, void shatter. Yang Hongwu shouted. A terrifying devil god condensed in his right hand. That devil hand shot out a black light. This black beam of light bombarded the spatial passageway, leading into the heavenly light. Boom! With a loud bang, the heavenly light was shattered, and the void channel was shattered. The heavenly region's emissary coughed up a mouthful of blood. His face was pale. He had already consumed a lot of energy, and now it was even worse. Heavenly region's emissary, it's impossible for you to escape. Go to hell. Yang Hongwu threw out a punch. That punch was filled with terrifying destructive power. The fist energy exploded, and the void was about to be shattered. Bang! This punch landed heavily on the emissary's chest. After being hit, the emissary shot out like a cannonball. He hit the ground, creating a deep crater. After the dust settled, the emissary was lying in the crater, twitching all over. No one knew whether he was dead or alive. Husband, you're too powerful. Yuji's eyes were watery as she watched Yang Hongwu unleash his divine might. Her gaze was blurred. Chapter 753. Killing the emissary of Tianyu. This guy was extremely cunning, and he came from Tianyu. How could he die so easily? It was always right to be careful, just in case. Yang Hongwu said to Yuji, let me deal with this guy first. As soon as Yang Hongwu finished speaking, he flicked out a finger. The Jingxin finger was a finger that could frighten ghosts and gods. Bang! At this time, the emissary of Tianyu rolled and dodged the attack. Yang Hongwu sneered, Emissary of Tianyu, I know you won't die so easily. You're too naive to lie to me. If it was in the past, Yang Hongwu might have been tricked, but now that he had experienced so many things, if he was so easily tricked, he would have died hundreds or thousands of times. Yang Hongwu, you can't kill me. I'm the emissary of Tianyi Divine Palace. If you kill me, there will be no place for you in Tianyi Divine Palace. The emissary of Tianyi Divine Palace looked at Yang Hongwu coldly. If he couldn't kill him this time, he could only hope that Yang Hongwu wouldn't kill him. Yang Hongwu's strength was beyond his expectation. He wanted to break through the void and enter Tianyu, but he was stopped by him. Terrifying, too terrifying, and his wisdom was also first class. The emissary of Tianyu regretted provoking this kid. However, since he had offended him, he could only offend him completely. Moreover, this guy almost killed him and made him lose face. He couldn't let him go. As long as he returned to Tianyu, he would die. Although the emissary of Tianyu seemed to be humble on the surface, he already hated Yang Hongwu to the bone. As long as there was a chance, he would kill Yang Hongwu. Haha, I'm so scared. Yang Hongwu said coldly. You're just a small emissary of Tianyi Divine Palace. Do you think Tianyi Divine Palace will give up a genius like me for a mere emissary of Tianyi Divine Palace? The emissary of Tianyu's mouth twitched. This was true. Yang Hongwu's strength was so strong, and his fighting strength was so amazing. He was indeed a genius among geniuses. Even in Tianyu, he would be one of the best. Such a genius, no matter which Tianyu Divine Palace, he would be fought for. Once such a genius Tianyu Divine Palace grew up, he would become a super expert. Which force wouldn't want a great sage realm expert, or even a genius who could break through to the great emperor realm? Although the emissary of Tianyu's strength and talent compared to Yang Hongwu, he was. Moreover, Yang Zenin, Tianyu is Tianyu. Was son of sun, s was nung inin. Onin nin nung inin was tin nung nan nunung nun in. Was he? Ninin b. Yang Hongwu was a little surprised when he heard this. The supreme elder of the Tianyi Divine Palace was indeed a high position. No matter how talented he was, it would be troublesome if he ascended to Tianyu Divine Palace. I don't believe that your father can do whatever he wants in Tianyu Divine Palace. I know what you were thinking. You wanted to let you go, but when you go back, you'll still do whatever it takes to deal with me. You want to kill me. Do you think I'll let you go? Yang Hongwu shot out a beam of cold light. This fellow was like a venomous snake, hating him to the bone. No, Yang Hongwu, I swear I won't do anything to you. I have a lot of treasures, pills. As long as you let me go, I can give them to you. Seeing that Yang Hongwu was determined to kill him, Sun Nunung became anxious. Nothing was more important than his life. After I kill you, these things will still be mine. Yang Hongwu was envious when he saw Sun Nunung pouring out a lot of treasures. Tycoon, this was a real tycoon. Not only Yang Hongwu, but the others were also stunned. Tengaku and Tian Jinyun had a high status in Tianyi Divine Palace, but the treasures in Tianyi Divine Palace were not as much as what Sun Nunung had taken out. Ew. Before Sun Nunung could finish his words, Yang Hongwu released a terrifying aura. Jingshen Finger, first finger, frightening ghosts and gods. Jingshan Finger, killing gods and demons with 2 fingers. Jingshin Finger, third finger, destroying heaven and earth. Yang Hongwu released his strongest combat power. The 3 fingers of Jingshin Finger fused together. This was the most powerful move of Jingshin Finger. The 3 fingers fused into one, and the heaven and earth collapsed. The huge finger condensed a terrifying power. The power that appeared from arcane divine realm made the whole world tremble. Even the laws of heaven and earth could not bear this terrifying power. This finger drained all of Yang Hongwu's strength. Boom! The huge finger heavily bombarded Sun Nunung's body. There was no way for him to dodge at all. Even his consciousness was trapped. He could only watch this terrifying finger bombarding his body. Then his body turned into nothingness under this terrifying power and dissipated in the void. A white light flashed. This was his divine soul, trying to escape. Destroy. Although Yang Hongwu had consumed a lot of energy, he still had Sherbower. A clear and pleasant sound was heard. A light appeared and caught the divine soul. Then, with a pinch, the divine soul was instantly shattered and turned into nothingness. At this point, Sun Nunung's divine soul was dead. Divine realm. On a spiritual mountain in the depths of Tianyi Divine Palace. A middle-aged man trembled all over. A terrifying, murderous intent burst out from his eyes. Who is it? Who killed my son? This person was none other than Sun Gong, the supreme elder of the Tianyi Divine Palace. Sun Nung was his son. He came down to the lower world to do some work. He did not expect that his son would be killed. How could he not be shocked? Ancient region was not strong. His son had the protection of the armor and the 10,000 kill needle. Unless it was an expert at the peak of the Great Saint Realm, it was impossible to kill him. Moreover, a Great Saint Realm expert could not display their full strength in Ancient Region. Therefore, Sun Nung should be very safe in the lower world. There was no danger at all. However, he died in the lower world. This made Sun Gong very angry. Although Sun Nung left a trace of his divine soul and could be resurrected, the price of resurrection was very high. Moreover, after resurrection, his strength would be greatly reduced. His aptitude would also decrease. This meant that he would be at most a Saint Realm expert in the future. There was no way for him to advance any further. This was the most infuriating part. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.